Hello, what's up, guys? So, today, first things first, we're gonna watch the video, the whole complete, almost mostly complete lore of Hollow Knight, because we're gonna prepare for Silksong release. I do know like bits and pieces of the whole storyline and all that, but I think I've missed a lot. So today, I want to, get the gist, not the gist actually, because this is a pretty big dive into the lore, right? It's an hour-long video, so we're gonna get a lot of information today regarding Hollow Knight, right? Hi, Wolfman, Sam, what's up? Yes, get your snacks, get your popcorn, get your drinks ready. And just as a reminder, today I still have the hot sauce and the super spicy chips, the Takis, the Fuego, the spiciest I found. Like the meter on the spiciness is extreme. This bulldog hot sauce, I don't know, the chicken spewing fire out of his mouth, so I'm guessing it's pretty hot. With the Takis, should be pretty spicy. If we hit 50, I'm gonna start eating them with the hot sauce, so it's gonna be burning. But this is gonna be my snack if we hit 50. I do have also my kombucha, homemade, by yours truly. So yeah, this video by Mossbag got 10 million views. That's a lot. And I think, yeah, already a lot of people come here just for a refresher. Oh, that's the word I was looking for a refresher before before the Team Cherry announcement. Okay, so yeah, what I remember from the whole storyline is that the whole thing got infested, right? Because the the Hollow Knight was getting weak, corrupted, right? And that kind of started the ball rolling. The Hollow Knight the Knight arrives in the Hollow Nest and then goes on to save Hollow Nest, right, from the infection. So yeah, that's what we are gonna learn about more in details, right? So yeah, every time I die, I eat a spicy Taki. Oh, that would be last time I died like 50 times. I think I would run out of spicy Takis, extreme spicy Takis. But yeah, that's a good idea too. Maybe every like 10 deaths, maybe I could do that so I don't run out. Okay, let's go. Oh, and let me know if it's like loud enough or not, because I don't know, I can't hear it for you guys. I mean, I could probably turn up the sound here. Oh yeah, let's go. Oh yeah, and if you haven't played, I'm guessing all of you have.
If you were to ask me, what is your favorite video
And
game
there are
ever
spoilers.
made? I would have to say Cory in the House.
Oh, it's low? Okay, let me bump it up a bit. Well, the video just started. Oh yeah, let's go.
If you were to ask me, what is your favorite video game ever made? I would have to say Cory in the House for the Nintendo DS.
Oh, what is it?
Hollow Knight would be a close second. Hollow Knight was...
I think I've seen this guy somewhere, but Cory in the House. It's I don't know. I vaguely remember his face, but I have no idea what it is.
February 24th, 2017, by Team Cherry, an indie game studio based in the mythical land of Adelaide, South Australia. Over the past 3 years, Hollow Knight has become an indie darling. The game has sold over 3.5 million copies. It was the opening game at ADGQ 2019. There's a Hollow Knight book, a line of plushies, t-shirts, nicotine patches, nuclear warheads, and even vinyl records for all you goddamn hipsters. Team Cherry had one goal when making Hollow Knight.
Is there actually vinyl records? That'd be kind of cool to have a vinyl record of all the soundtracks.
They wanted to create a world that allowed players to get completely lost in exploration. We can see this desire in Hollow Knight's design. The levels in Hollow Knight are massive, with secrets and rewards hidden in every nook and cranny. Be that powerful charms, special abilities, or the game's navigation system requires the player to work for their map, forcing them to make a stronger mental image of the world in their head. Christopher Larkin's score and Ari Gibson's art.
Well, after playing it for 90 hours, I still have trouble finding my way around. So I don't know how you guys do it, but without the maps, I would be totally lost.
Work lend to this as well, creating an atmosphere that the player won't want to leave. But there's one aspect of Hollow Knight that keeps people like me coming back: the world building. When Super Metroid launched in 1994,
Oh, we're going
it
retro.
stood out for its amazing sense of immersion. Now in 1994, I was busy not being alive, but I've
Same.
watched enough YouTube video essays to know that this game was a big deal. In case you didn't know, Super Metroid is basically the granddaddy of all Metroidvanias. That's why they're called Metroidvanias. Now in Super Metroid, there are moments that give the player a sense of depth. Basically the feeling that this world exists outside.
Oh, fun fact. I don't know if you guys know, but Samus, the character right here that we're seeing on the screen, that's actually a girl. I did not know that. I forgot even where I learned it, but yeah, that's a girl.
Side of Samus's interactions with it. In the room right before that diabetic crocodile thing, Samus can find the corpse of a random soldier. His inclusion here doesn't change the gameplay at all, but instead gives the player a sense of wonder about the world they are exploring. Who was this guy? Why was he here in the first place?
Very high
Did he
quality
like
shot.
jazz? Now, finding dead bodies and other random garbage is pretty cool, right? Well, Hollow Knight basically does the same
Oh yes,
thing.
I found him too. That's the nail master, not nail master, the nail smith. I killed him too. Oh, I felt bad about it.
About a dozen times. Through its world building, Hollow Knight turns Hallownest into a living kingdom. You can sense the ancient history of the land when you look at dilapidated structures or giant barred doors. Nothing feels like it was put into the game randomly. There's a reason for it all. Except those reasons aren't the easiest to uncover. Hollow Knight's narrative is buried under layers of NPC dialogue, item descriptions, lore tablets, and even additional content like the Quarrel comic and Fangamer's Wanderer's Journal. These past 3 years have seen an insane amount.
You know what I like about the design of the game is that like somehow they made a 2D game, because you know you go back and forth, left and right, you know, up and down, but they somehow made it look and feel 3D, like the depth of the background and all the pieces of like objects and all that just all comes together and just like feels 3D. It feels alive, you know. It doesn't feel like it's barren. I don't know. They did a really good job with that.
Amount of research by the Hollow Knight community to make sense of Team Cherry's sprawling world. We've even made it to the point where people are looking at the in-game signs to try and decipher Hallownest's logographic language.
Okay, I didn't
In
know
this
that.
video, I hope to give you a long and detailed look into the world of Hollow Knight, exploring Hallownest's history and uncertain future. When I'm not busy making surprisingly accurate Super Smash Bros. Roster speculation videos, or insightful podcasts about beloved subjects like the Donkey Kong Country television series, or whatever this was supposed to be, I'm usually making videos about Hollow Knight. And while I am a seasoned Hollow Knight lore expert, I cannot confirm that every musing or theory presented in this video is completely.
He wrote 37 pages. Wow. I wrote like 5 or 6 pages for the video about me ranking all the bosses, and he 37. That must have taken ages.
Correct. I highly recommend checking out the lore section of the Hollow Knight wiki if you want a more neutral explanation of Hollow Knight's lore. But if you're too lazy to read, then I suggest you sit back, order some Domino's pizza, or just grab a block of cheese from the fridge and enjoy the mostly complete lore of Hollow Knight. It's a simple fact of life that every human worships a god, be that technology, ideologies, or in rare cases...
We're going actually very deep. Wow, I didn't... Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I thought he's just gonna give us like straight facts and what happened and all that. But we're going deep into this human psyche. Wow.
God. As it turns out, the bugs in Hallownest pretty much operate in the same way. From the Mosskin born from the dream of a giant slug, to the emo kids of the ancient civilization who literally worship the darkness, there is no shortage of things to worship in the world of Hollow Knight. Our story begins with a creature very much worthy of worship, a creature born from the carcass of a worm. The carcass can still be found in the Kingdom's Edge, and it's our only good look at what worms actually looked like. At the time Hollow Knight occurs, it is suggested there are no worms left in the world. They were incredibly long creatures that featured little to no limbs. Another more mysterious property of worms was that they had some kind of prescience or foresight. Basically, they could see the future to some capacity. It isn't clear how effective this ability was. Considering how the entire race went extinct, this foresight ability must have been pretty shit. Getting back to this particular worm carcass, it is explained that this worm traveled across the distant mountains and wastelands beyond Hallownest. Once it arrived in Hallownest, the worm died. Except not really. Inside the maw of the carcass sits a pale broken egg, out of which hatched a new form of worm, a being of meager shell.
You know, when I first saw that, I thought it was some kind of like esophagus, because I knew that there was a bug with its open mouth, so I thought we're going down into its mouth, and I thought what you saw there is the esophagus, the back of the throat here.
This form of the worm is usually referred to as the Pale King, and he's the character basically responsible for everything that happens in Hollow Knight. The Pale King is a higher
Still
being,
burping.
a type of creature that exists above all others. His body was said to shine with a radiant visage that harmed those who looked upon him.
Radiant? Did he just
The
say
ultimate
radiant?
goal of the Pale King seemed to be in line with that of other worms. A line from the cryptic Mr. Mushroom reads, "Worms pull bugs into their thrall, till ages pass and kingdoms fall." In other words, it's just in their nature. Dogs wag their tails, cats bury their shit, and worms bring massive amounts of bugs into their service in order to form long-standing kingdoms and civilizations. And here in a far corner of the world, the Pale King emerged from the corpse of his former self and began to build his eternal kingdom, Hallownest. There's this one slight problem. There's like people already living there. The area that would eventually be...
I thought the whole thing is about bugs, not people. But yeah, so we find the bug is like where? It was in the Kingdom's Edge. Where was it? I forgot exactly. It was like down here, right? How did it get there? Like it's pretty close to like like in Minecraft you have the rock bottom with the mother forgot the name of that. Mother rock? No. You can't break it. Like is there like a bottom here in Hallownest too? Like where it cannot be penetrated. Oh, hi, Parkid. Although, yeah, I don't have the bot for that, for the commands. How long? It's been a few months by now. You've sent 106 messages. And you've been following since February 7th, 2025. Wow, that's a while. You get the map if you buy the box. Oh, that's nice. I don't have the I only bought it on Steam, so I didn't get any freebies, unfortunately. But all this is Hallownest, right? So outside of it is just a different kingdom. Is there something outside? Wasn't mentioned? Maybe we're gonna learn today. But how does this even make sense? The City of Tears. This is such a huge cave that for some reason, like, I think it would just collapse under its own like weight, right? There's nothing supporting it. That's a bad design. That's a bad structure. It's gonna collapse. It's gonna break. The whole thing is probably pretty like fragile. But yeah, let's go.
Come Hallownest was already filled with mantis.
How far am I in Hollow Knight? I finished it. I did like 4. I think I had 4 different endings accomplished. I didn't get 112% though. Like I'm at 109%. I'm gonna play the Pale Court mod after this video.
This is bees, moths, spiders, mushrooms, and bush cosplayers. Each of these groups were already operating with their own cultures and societies, and each group had a different interaction with the Pale King. One of the more receptive groups to the arrival of the Pale King were the mushrooms of the fungal wastes. These creatures were able to communicate with one another through one shared mind. The mushrooms viewed this shared mind as a strength, and they were kind of smug dickheads about it. Ultimately, the mushrooms wearily accepted the Pale King's rule, viewing his foresight as a shield to the dangers of the future. Another group living in the fungal wastes is the Mantis tribe. The Mantises have a rich cultural history reaching back to long before the birth of Hallownest. The Mantises are a proud tribe, believing in the importance of proving one's physical strength. The Mantises are fiercely territorial, but will show respect to those who display great power. These Fight Club enthusiasts were led by four powerful Mantis Lords, who I guess just kind of sat around waiting for outsiders to challenge them. The Mantis tribe had no interest in the Pale King's kingdom, but the two communities did come to a truce. In exchange for their independence from Hallownest, the Mantis tribe kept the beasts of Deepnest from invading Hallownest. Not sure why they didn't just go out the other exits from Deepnest, but whatever. I'm not an expert on border patrol. I don't work at ICE anymore. Let's move on.
So yeah, there was, I remember there was a door that you cannot open, right? It's just like there, but there's no way of opening it. And there's no, you cannot go to the other side, I think. I think it was the one he just showed. How long did it take me to beat Path of Pain? First time it was like 4 hours, I think. But then at the end, I died to the King's Mold. I had to do it all over again. So, I mean, but on the second attempt, that took me like at most like 2 hours. So I've gotten better, but still. I would need to do it like 5 more times probably so that I'm actually able to do it within like 10-15 minutes. Hi, Pure Vessel, what's up? That's why it's raining in the city? That's gonna the water makes it even less secure, right? It's gonna dig through rocks and whatnot. It's gonna corrode the rock. I mean, it's so big that yeah, the moisture probably creates clouds, and it has like its own ecosystem in there. That's probably why. We're excited for Silksong. Me too. Can't wait. Oh, somebody in the Discord chat, I think, was saying that he's going to convention, and they might have Silksong demo playing there. He said that he's gonna let me know if he played it or not. Where am I so far? We're listening about before Hallownest. So that's before the kingdom, I guess, was created. When the first worm, first and the only worm, I guess, came to Hallownest and gave birth or created the Pale King.
On to Deep.
Oh, hey that guy, what's up?
Now, many of the different tribes of Hallownest were kind enough to leave lore tablets behind, detailing pretty much everything we need to know about them. Unfortunately, the bugs of Deepnest didn't do that. We know that the spiders of Deepnest had a monarchy because why not? Those are always good, right? Also within Deepnest are a separate group of spiders that immigrated to Deepnest at some point in the past. This group was known as the Weavers, and they established their own culture and history within Deepnest. They used looms of silk to weave.
This is gonna be relevant. This is gonna be relevant for Silksong. You've seen this video so many times. Watching it again, you probably memorized it by now. But yeah, the spiders, they were like Diddy, like they invited me, they allowed me to sit in a chair. I remember that, and then they just like encroached on me, and I woke up somewhere in the back rooms just tied up. That's crazy. I don't even know why they needed to do that. I don't know why they didn't like me. Maybe I'm gonna learn today.
Stories, spells, and shields. One thing we know for sure about Deepnest is that they really didn't want anything to do with Hallownest. The struggles of Deepnest Hallownest relations would become painfully clear as time goes on, but for right now, it seems like the two remained fairly isolated from one another. Another section of pre-Hallownest includes Green Path. Now, as far as we can tell, the mushrooms, mantises, and spiders of Deepnest didn't worship any higher beings. There is this giant mushroom corpse in the fungal core, but I don't think this is a higher being. I mean, who the hell would want to worship a fat-ass mushroom? Fat-ass slugs? Now that...
Oh, I forgot about this one. It gives you like the shape of On, right? But it just gives you the shape of Un and just like dips forever. You never see it again.
It's dope. The land we know as Greenpath was created by the higher being known as Un. Un used her great mind to dream the vegetation of Greenpath into the once barren caverns. Un's followers, the Mosskin, were also born out of Un's dream, making her their creator. Greenpath at its height was actually much larger than we see in game. At one point, Greenpath stretched into both modern-day Queen's Garden and possibly Fog Canyon. Greenpath's citizens showed themselves to be a fairly developed society. They built a temple at the Lake of Un in order to worship her, and they even had their own line of defense, with Moss Knights showing proficiency in combat, using nails and shells as weapons. The Law of Un continued to remain in effect even after the Pale King arrived, but it seems like they allowed the king to establish a road through their lands, leading travelers to the heart of Hallownest. Hence the name Greenpath. Yeah, Team Cherry really racked their brains when naming this area, didn't they? Next, we have the bees. And while there is no lore on how these bees can turn into fucking drills, or how they can ignore all known laws of aviation, we do know how they reacted to the Pale King. These bugs decided to steal their hive.
Oh, that's another thing. I don't know if you guys know, but beetles kind of defy the laws of physics because they're too big. I think it's no, the beetles. That was another bug. The beetle? Yeah, I think it was a beetle because they are too big and their wings are too small. So they don't even know how to like fly properly. Like how the scientists. Okay, I would need to fact check on this one, but I'm pretty sure it was them. Is Vespa working in Tony Vespa? Who's Tony Vespa? The only Vespa I know are those like tiny moped scooters. Snail were bugs before Hollow Knight. What? You know what? According to European Union, I think snails are considered fish for some reason. Like I don't know why, but I think they're considered fish. Hi, Eddie. Hi. How are you?
Off from the rest of the world, with only patrol bees being able to enter and exit the hive. So yeah, the bees are pretty much pointless in this story. And finally we have the moth tribe. In-game, the only moth settlement is in the resting grounds, but the tribe might have also inhabited the Crystal Peak at one point. Now as we all know, moths in real life are just complete assholes. As for the moths in Hollow Knight, well, it's a bit complicated. The moth race is described as being a rather pacifist group, with few ever choosing to take up a weapon. During the Pale King's reign, the moth race delved amongst dreams and the dead, displaying the importance of remembering those who have passed, as well as learning how to shape dreams themselves. Similar to the Mosskin, the moth tribe was born from a higher being, known as the Radiants.
Wait, so you're telling me that there's a race that are kind of considered superior to others because they are kind of like a descendant or related to the Radiants, which is a moth? So kind of like, I don't know. We're like, it's like an Aryan race or something?
The Radiance is described as being a light in which the moth tribe basked. So she was basically a giant lamp to them. Another important aspect about the Radiance is her ties to dreams and a substance known as essence. Essence are the remains of wishes and dreams, and are represented in-game by these dreamcatcher particle effects. Essence can take the form of whispering roots, as well as dream ghosts, both of which are memories taking root in the world. The Radiance appears to be a creature made of essence, but she isn't the only higher being to give off essence. Un has green particles, the Pale King has gray particles, and this sexy character named Grim gives off fiery red particles. However, the Radiance appear—
Wait, so there's like different dream nails, or can I use the dream nail to collect all of them and there's just like different sources of the particles? I don't know. The Tony Vespa, it's a pizza place. Oh, I think that's the indie game, right? The one where you have to like make pizzas and all that. Yeah, she's a woman. That's a woman. That's a she. RPG games? Yeah, sure, I do like. Like I liked The Witcher. I remember playing it. I started playing The Witcher 3, but I switched to different indie games for streaming. but I played the whole entire Witcher 2. I like that. I played some other ones in the past, but that's the one I just pulled it off the top of my head. Full RPG game on Roblox. They have RPG games on Roblox too. I've never played Roblox. Maybe I should. Block Tales. I can check it out maybe later.
To be the main god when it comes to dreams, even if other gods also dabble in the dream realm. Getting back to the Moth tribe, it is their interaction with the Pale King that we need to discuss. Basically, the Moths turn their backs on the Radiance completely in order to worship the new light that had appeared, the Pale King's light. So yeah, Moths are assholes in this game too. With her tribe forsaking her, the Radiance became a forgotten memory, a remnant of the past, and a thing that's definitely not going to come up again later in this video. And so the Pale King's new kingdom was established, Hallownest. But there is one aspect of Hallownest that we need to discuss. Unfortunately, to better understand this, we're going to have to read some poetry. In wilds beyond they speak your name with reverence and regret. For none could tame our savage souls, yet you the challenge met. Under palest watch you taught, we changed, base instincts were redeemed. A world you gave to bug and beast as they had never dreamed. This is from a poem titled Elegy for Hallownest, written by Modamon the Teacher. The poem appears at the beginning of every playthrough, and hints at what the Pale King and his kingdom offered. Much of the land outside of Hallownest appears to be a wasteland, where bugs survive off of instinct, without the burden of mind. Hallownest somehow taught these bugs and tamed their savagery. Basically, the Pale King changed the instincts of his subjects, and granted them higher thought. To get a better picture of this, let's look at two different characters, Boone and Tuck. These adorable panda bug things give us a clear display of Hallownest's effect. While both appear to be the same species of bug, Boone is dumb as a sack of rocks, struggling to string together words, while Tuck speaks fairly clearly. The main difference between these two characters is that while Boone lives outside of Hallownest, Tuck lives beneath the city's capital. Basically, it appears as though Hallownest is a literal holy ground that raises the intelligence of those who dwell within. The Pale King established a path, starting from the kingdom's entrance in King's Pass, winding through Greenpath and the fungal wastes, and finally ending at the massive capital at Hallownest's heart. We now know the capital city as the City of Tears, but that was likely not its original name. The rain that falls down onto the city from the blue lake above didn't begin until after the kingdom collapsed.
Oh, I didn't even connect those two things. The lake is right above the City of Tears. It didn't click in my head. Wow, okay. So this is not a rain that's randomly there. It's the lake seeping into the floor, into the ground, and raining on the City of Tears. Wow, okay. That's interesting.
So unless the capital was originally named by some edgy literature student, the name City of Tears wouldn't have made much sense. The king's motivation for all this appears to have been his desire to be worshipped. The citizens of Hallownest believe that the Pale King created the world, and everything in it. Shrines to the king can be found scattered throughout the kingdom, and king's idols were created and distributed to followers of the king. Despite the worship, the Pale King often kept himself hidden from his subjects, possibly to hide his blemishes. I mean, if you look at the size of the real Pale King to his statue in the ancient basin, the man is clearly overcompensating. The Pale King's White Palace was also built underneath the city, separating him from his subjects even more so. At the same time, certain powers became shunned in Hallownest, though we don't know for sure if the Pale King had anything to do with this. Lifeblood is a blue liquidy substance that leaves those who drink it feeling refreshed. However, the use of lifeblood was seen as a taboo, and those who used it were demonized as heretics. The use of soul for combat was also shunned. Soul is a sort of life force in Hollow Knight that animates the bodies of living creatures. But some characters are able to control the soul of others to conjure powerful spirits. But aside from a few exceptions, no citizens of Hallownest ever use this power. However, the Pale King didn't rule alone. There was another higher being in the mix, a being known as the White Lady. The White Lady is a weird brute-like being that can be found in the modern-day Queen's Gardens. She is encased in a strange cocoon, and we know very little about her. With as much exposition we get for the Pale King, there is next to nothing on the White Lady. But one thing we do know is that she likes to breed. Like, a lot.
What? White lady? Okay.
The White Lady would often retreat to the Queen's Gardens, an area of land once controlled by the Mosskin. How exactly she walked around and actually went places is a lore question too deep for even my expertise. The White Lady is also known as a pale being, along with the Pale King. What exactly are pale beings?
Why is she even tied up? Like, she's into that stuff? Or was she like restrained?
Well, we don't know for sure, but they seem to stand out even amongst higher beings as being even more powerful. I know that's a little confusing, so let's try using an example. I'd say that regular higher beings are like a TP-Link Archer C7 AC1750 wireless dual-band gigabit router, while pale beings are like the Asus RT-AX88U AX6000 dual-band 8X gigabit Wi-Fi router. Under the Pale King, Halnest underwent a bit of an industrial revolution. He ordered the construction of the stagways, which were used to transport passengers and goods. The Forgotten Crossroads and the storerooms above the City of Tears were used
It's like Hollowness Industrial Revolution and its consequences.
to store goods that traveled along these stagways. The king also ordered the construction of the tramways, because literally no one is safe from the threat of automation. A tram was built between the Forgotten Crossroads and the resting grounds. A second tram was built from the kingdom's edge across the ancient basin over to Deep Nest. And then a third tram was started in Deep Nest and attempted to go further into Deep Nest. Not sure how useful that would have been to the bugs of Hallownest, but whatever. The Pale King's a smart guy, I'm not gonna question him. But anyway, the Pale King's super smart plan to build a tram in Deep Nest ended up getting a few of his tram workers killed. The bugs of Deep Nest rejected the Pale King's attempt to build a tram in their territory, further cementing the poor relations shared between the two groups. Aside from convenient fast travel, regular pathways were also used to cart goods around the kingdom. From this was born probably one of the most important groups in Hallownest, and perhaps even all of fiction. An elusive guild of bugs, simply known as the Menderbugs, took to maintaining the various signs scattered throughout Hallownest. From the journal entry of one Menderbug, we can catch a glimpse into their ancient and unknowable minds.
Dear, dear diary, isn't life just the most beautiful thing? Fixing signs, mending posts, let them break, I say. I'm a better mender for all that repairing. I sometimes doubt there's a single bug in all of Hallownest happier than me.
Another example of
These guys are pretty fast. Like when the knight runs around breaking everything in his way and he goes out of one area and then just jumps back in, it's already repaired, right? Oh, random, hi. Professional chat reader. Oh yeah, you uninstalled Hollow Knight to play Deltarune. No, I still have Hollow Knight. What do you mean? I played Hollow Knight last time. I played the Pale Cord mod, which we're gonna play today after we finish the video. I still have it. I last time I downloaded too many mods and the game like crashed out. It bugged out. Like I turn on I forgot the name of that force which pulls you into the ground. Gravity. I don't know. Gravity. I turn on the gravity changer every 1 minute 30 seconds. So like you start walking on the walls like you're possessed. You wanted to okay. Yeah, have fun playing Deltarune. That's kind of fun game. We have to wait until 2026 for the next chapters. Oh, by the way, to those who have joined and don't know yet, and haven't heard, we are still waiting on 50 people, and we're gonna do the super spicy challenge, the super spicy hot sauce and super spicy takis. You got to chapter 3? I think I liked the chapter 4 the most. Or no, chapter 3 was Mr. Tenna. Mr. Tenna was fun, but I think yeah, the fourth one. I like the fourth one. The fourth chapter.
the Pale King's expanding infrastructure is the Crystal Peak. This area is filled with crystals that grow rapidly along walls, ceilings, and even the shells of certain bugs. These crystals were considered valuable to the bugs of Hallownest, resulting in large-scale mining efforts. We don't actually see the crystals used anywhere else in Hallownest, but they are said to contain a sort of energy. The crystals are also said to sing, if you listen very carefully.
God damn it. Getting rickrolled in the middle of the Hollow Knight video.
Hallownest's first line of defense appeared to be a group simply known as the Five Great Knights. The members of this esteemed coalition were Ogrim, Hagamol, Zamir, Drya, and Isma. For being so important, most of the information about these knights has been lost to time. Ogrim is the knight we know the most about, since he is one of the few knights still alive during the events of the game. Ogrim expressed a great amount of loyalty towards the king, and he maybe had something going on with Isma, but we really don't know. Hagamol was known for his sense of humor and his soft-spoken voice, but at the same time, he was also dummy thick. Mysterious Zamir arrived in Hallownest from a serene land, bringing—
Wait, I just read that. You played Silksong today? What do you mean you played Silksong today? Gotta love sending a message to it. Oh. I just read it. What do you mean you played Silksong? There's a demo somewhere around, or like you went to a convention? Where'd you put your hands on it? Pay attention. This helps with Pale Court. Yeah, I just noticed we already fought Isma, and I see other characters that I think are in the Pale Court mod, like her, the character we're seeing right here. I forgot her name. And Zamir, I think, was there too, right? You played Silksong? What do you mean you played? Like there's a song called Silksong, or did you actually play the Silksong? We call it going to Gamescom in Germany and playing the— you played the demo? How was it? I'm curious. Sword, Aisha Gershom, smash Isma, but those are bugs. Why would you want to smash them? Peak? Oh my gosh. I want to play it so bad right now. I don't know why. Each stream I get at least one of these. There's way too many of these to like ever get rid of them. Because there's like way too many bots. Philo, hi. Welcome back. You played it too? You played it on September 4th? You played it in the future? Nice. Yes, I've beaten Isma, and we're gonna move on to the next one. I forgot the location. There was a guide on like where are the other bosses from the Pale Court mod, so I'll have to look it up. I'll just go to the closest one from Isma. The movement is way more fluid than Hollow Knight. Yeah, I would suppose like he has way more to her like at her disposal, right? And right off the bat, I don't know if the demo that they showed, because I've seen a video of somebody else playing part of the demo. If this is where you start, that's crazy. Like the dash line, the dash is just a single speed increase, even midair. Holding dash makes you sprint. So yeah, like if that's the start, if that's the base, I wonder what is gonna be like at the end of the playthrough. So that's crazy. And I was wondering too, where she sprints, she ducks her head down, right? So I'm wondering if that also will help with the hitboxes, because she puts her head down, so it makes me think that it might help. Have you beaten Isma quest boss flower? Oh, her, right? The one we're seeing here. Maybe I could do that. Yeah, I'll smash what judge. I mean, whatever you're into, I guess. Slap in the trailer. What slap? Okay, we're gonna continue with the video.
With her a collection of delicate flowers. At some point, she also got into a relationship with a mantis, but not just any mantis, a daughter of one of the mantis lords. So yeah, it seems like these great knights were slaying in more ways than one. All we really know about Drya is that she was fierce, caring, and wise. As for Isma, she was described as being kind. She also appears to be some sort of weird plant life form, but there's no information on where she's from or what her powers were.
I mean, we kind of know now because I fought her. It took me like 50 tries, but I mean, it is what it is. I beat her. She's not that hard. She has less moves? Okay. Maybe it's gonna take me less than 50 tries. Pogo is replaced with diagonal dive in direction you're facing, dealing damage to first enemy you hit. Oh. Is it automatically like aiming at the enemy, or do you have to aim the diagonal dive as well? Is it like locking to the closest enemy? And healing puts you in a 1.5 second animation using all your silk and healing 3 masks at once. Oh. Shape of On. Shape of On will be a... If the... Wait, no, she doesn't have charms. Never mind. Just a 45 degree. If you miss, you miss. Ooh. The Path of Pain in Silksong will be crazy. Nobody memed Hornet Slap yet? I don't think so. I don't think I've seen that meme.
The 5 Great Knights play an important role in the Champion's Call, the Knotted Grove, and the Battle of the Blackworm.
We're seeing
We have no idea what
this
these
is
events were or how they affected
Dung.
Hallownest, but they sound cool nonetheless.
Yup.
During Hallownest's reign, there was another strange area that seemed to exist separate from the Pale King's rule. Carved out of the corpse of an ancient bug, an area called the Colosseum of Fools was constructed, and it was a destination for warriors from outside Hallownest. The sole purpose for fighting in the Colosseum appeared to be simply for glory, with a mysterious figure known as the Lord Fool overseeing the combat. We don't know when the Colosseum was constructed or if the Pale King was involved, but one of his servants, the Pale Lurker, became a
this
champion
one's so
in the
annoying. It was so
Colosseum,
hard to catch it.
perhaps indicating the Pale King's approval. And finally, there was the Royal Waterways, where the fecal excrement of the kingdom was washed out into the fungal wastes. This area saw the rise of a species of parasite-like creatures called the Flukes. The Flukes spawned from the Flukmarm, a giant monster with cavities in which tinier Flukes live. There really isn't too much lore involved with the Flukes, but I do need to point out that the Flukmarm is canonically a MILF. Like, that's not even debatable. The sky is blue, 2 + 2 = 4, and we all want to fuck this thing. And so
That's
this was
a
the kingdom
bug.
of Hallownest.
Oh, by the way, Grass Mother is also a mother, right? Because there's this, and there's also the Grass Mother. When you defeat it, it like drops down on the floor and it opens up, and there's like a lot of tiny grasses that are coming out and like spreading around. So I was wondering if that's like actual mother, or was it just a ton, like a dozen grasses wearing a costume of a bigger grass, you know? It's true, it's dumb to spoil, isn't it? There's going to be an egg laying minigame. Egg laying minigame. Which bug lays an egg that we've seen in Hollow Knight? Moss Mother is the first boss in Moss Mother? Moss is also a mother? And it's also another of Moss Flies. There's a lot of moms in this game. Can confirm a 6. What the hell? No, what? You watched it all? Wow. You can grab onto ledges. Oh, like in Super Mario Odyssey. That's nice.
At its height, Hallownest was a vast kingdom connected by a network of stagways and tram stations. The bugs of Hallownest mourned their dead on the resting grounds, engaged in commerce using Geo, the de facto currency of the region, and a thriving capital located in the middle of the kingdom. The Pale King had succeeded in crafting a full-blown society, but we all know there are pitfalls to living in a society. As a suspiciously knowledgeable hunter points out in his journal, the Pale King had created a population of weak and pathetic creatures. The bugs of Hallownest did not hunt for their own food and had become complacent with their comfort. This is even more obvious with the east wing of the capital. These greedy members of Hallownest's high society became complete cowards, obsessed with riches and plumb from excess wealth.
This one was so like a Humpty Dumpty, like so defenseless. I kind of felt bad for killing it. But I mean, it gave me a lot of geo, and that was worth it, I guess. All the moral implications went away as soon as I saw all the geo gushing out of this. You watched it all during your 15-minute video. You had it on like ×10 speed. Colosseum, yes, it is my hell. It took me like 10 hours on the last one. Oh my god. The section without the floor was like that was too much for me. But I think if I do it now, I'll be fine, because I had to learn how to actually use the nail arts. I needed to start using nail arts. The diagonal dash is very exact. Oh, you have to be very exact with it, huh? Finally watching the lore. Yes, I finally got to it. I mean, I've completed the game almost at 112. I'm like at 109. So I mean, I wouldn't want to watch it before playing the Hollow Knight, right? You never found her? It's in the City of Tears. Bro, that's so much geo. So much geo. This early in the game, it was so worth it. You were forced to hack the Switch 2 at the Gamescom. Oh, you played it on a Switch 2? Oh. Well, it's gonna be available on PC, right? It has to be. It's not Switch 2 locked, is it? Because I don't have a Switch 2. In Roblox, good games are not popular and bad games are so popular. I've heard, yeah, somebody said on the Discord today that there is a new record on Grow Your Garden. Like 23 million people. 23 million. That's crazy. I'm trying to imagine this many people in one area. Like in open area. Like I can't. That's too many people. Like how? Oh, it was you? You need the third vessel for the soul and 4 or 5 pantheons. Oh yes, the third. I'm still missing one fragment for the soul. Same release and Switch. Okay, that's good. Just played on Switch too. I've never played these games on a controller. I just used the keyboard this whole time. Steal a brain rat. 20 million. Yeah, that's too much. 20 million. Maybe I should get into those so I get some more viewers. I've seen there's like a live stream on because I looked it up. There's a live stream on Grow the Garden that shows you current prices of like different stuff in the game. That's like 24/7. It's like a market. It's like a marketplace. That's crazy. You're gonna beat Lace because you're used to keyboard and they didn't have them. Oh, is it that much different playing on a controller? I would think that it's a little bit easier maybe for some things, like maybe like when you pogo and all that. Okay.
The bugs living in Hallownest Prime looked quite different than the instinctive simpletons they once were. Their savagery had been replaced with intelligence, and through that intellect, they gave the Pale King the devotion and service he desired. And while there were a few snags along the way, they were shining times for the king and his subjects.
Is it worth it being conscious? Like there's so much burden that comes with being conscious. I don't know what's better. That's a very ethical question too. What's better? Not knowing that you're alive and just living your life with just instincts, or being alive with knowing that you're alive and just like being self-aware? What's better? Playing on to control is hard because you mess up fast. Muscle memory for sure. Like if you have to switch for that, yeah, that's a problem.
Sitting at the threshold of Hallownest is a strange lore tablet, proclaiming Hallownest to be the last and only civilization. It calls Hallownest an eternal kingdom. This appears to have been the Pale King's goal, for Hallownest to stand against a wasted world as a final beacon for civilization. And that was the Pale King's ultimate folly, To think that he could succeed where so many others had failed before.
Wait, so if this is the only beacon of civilization, what about Silksong? Is it still Hollow Nest? Or is it a different kingdom? Because if it is a different kingdom, then this part of this video is wrong. You go to sleep, you gotta curl up. Well, good night. Are you fighting the flower guy? I'm gonna go for the flower because I think that might be the closest one to where I was. Maybe. Parloom. So it is another kingdom. So either the Pale Knight didn't know about it, or this is outdated information in this video.
Long before the Pale Kings or the Barry Bensons of the world, the land of Hallownest was controlled by an ancient caste. Hints of Hallownest history are littered throughout the land, with the most notable examples being the soul totems and arcane eggs. One sect of these ancient bugs didn't worship a god like the Pale King or any lord, but instead a dark and mysterious substance known as the Void. This ancient caste once also tried to lay claim to the entire land of Hallownest, but they too failed. In his quest to conquer all of Hallownest, the Pale King had made an enemy long forgotten, an enemy that was about to be remembered. I mentioned earlier that the Moth tribe entirely forgot about the Radiance in order to worship the Pale King, but that isn't quite true. Memories of her still lingered, and hushed whispers of faith kept the Radiance alive. At the summit of the Crystal Peak, a location known as Hallownest Crown, a strange collection of glyphs can be found. Joining these glyphs is a statue of the Radiance, presiding over the kingdom below. This old summit is the sole standing shrine left to the Radiance. This was built in order to keep the memory of the Radiance alive. The Radiance's light began to appear in the dreams of Hallownest citizens. This light manifested itself in an infection that ravaged through the kingdom's tunnels. Those infected would fall into a deep sleep and awaken with broken minds. Some of the lesser bugs tried to resist the Radiance's light, which only resulted in them being consumed by it even more so. Many infected bugs lost their wills and began attacking bugs that weren't infected. The infection also twisted the bodies of its hosts, causing them to bloat and occasionally develop orange cysts on their bodies. For many victims, they were reverted back to their basic instincts, carrying out the duties they once fulfilled in life, but now as mindless slaves. Those caught up in the infection were linked into the Radiance's hive mind, allowing her to control their bodies if needed. As the infection spread across Hallownest, many groups looked to solutions to fight off the Radiance's light. The gates to the City of Tears were closed in an attempt to keep the infection from reaching the city. The stagways were also shut down at some point, and many of the stags eventually died out, but some took more proactive efforts against the infection. The scholars of the Soul Sanctum decided to harness the power of Soul in an attempt to fight the infection. This resulted in the deaths of hundreds of bugs, whose souls were sucked out and injected into the bodies of the scholars. Their goal was to achieve some kind of pure focus, which would somehow protect them from plagues of the mind. The scholars' leader, the Soul Master, was driven mad by the sheer power of Soul, and his entire sect failed to avoid infection. But hey, at least they took as many innocent people down with them as they could. The Mantis tribe...
Wait, that's so much darker than I thought. They literally took hundreds upon hundreds of bugs and sucked their soul out. Damn. That's crazy. I mean, I saw like the corpses and all that in the background when I played the game, but I just never thought about it. Why they were there. So do you think it's more to build a boat players, or I don't know what to build a boat? Or Minecraft players are so crafty. I don't know, there's a video where Minecraft players literally created a computer so that they can play Minecraft in Minecraft. That's crazy. The redstone builds. That's some smart shit. Yeah, the Minecraft players can do anything with redstone. that game allows you to do whatever you want as long as it's, you know, as long as you can imagine. But yeah, the lore, it's heavy. I did not know about all that. And so everywhere else besides the city of tears got infected with too much. What did you say? Their minds got corrupted, right? They found a way to earn Bitcoin. They mined Bitcoin through Minecraft. How? How? I'm too dumb to understand how. How is it possibly done? There's even a huge server that's, I think it's called the Library of Alexandria, where they have all the like books and information from around the world that allows people to access it in countries that have literature limited or banned, censored. So like Minecraft has gone down as like one of the more important games in like history, I would say.
Showing a stronger will than the common bug, were able to stave off the infection. However, one of the 4 Mantis Lords turned against his sisters. He and his followers took in the infection willingly, as it gave them more strength and courage. At some point during all this, the Traitor Lord and his followers were exiled from the Mantis village, eventually taking up residence in the Queen's Gardens. The Traitor Lord's daughter ended up dying at some point. This is the same Mantis that was in a relationship with Zamir, one of the 5 Great Knights, but the Mantises rejected their union because of Zamir's outsideness. As a gamer, this type of prejudice is all too familiar, and honestly, it makes me sick. With the 5 Great Knights completely useless to fight against the infection, the Pale King devised his own scheme. A scheme involving a strange substance known as Void. As I mentioned earlier, the Pale King's White Palace was built in an area called the Ancient Basin, but his castle wasn't the only noteworthy thing down there. At the bottom of the Ancient Basin was the entrance to a pit known as the Abyss. Within the Abyss was a lake composed of void. The Pale King realized that this void could be given form, as evidenced by an imprint of such deep within the Abyss, possibly left there by the ancient civilization that predated Hallownest. The Pale King devised a workshop in his palace.
Wait, but before he was saying that the Pale King was the one that was able to create civilization because, like, through him being there, they gained consciousness, right? So how was there a civilization before the Pale King? Am I going to watch the whole video? Yes. So I'm not sure how that works.
Where he placed void in armor shells imbued with soul, creating servants known as King's Molds and Wing Molds. These void creatures were somehow imprinted with the desire of the Pale King, so that they would serve him. It isn't clear when the Pale King started making these creatures. There is evidence to imply that even common bugs were aware of King's Molds, but the point is, the Pale King turned to the void in order to create another creature, one that he believed could contain the Radiance and her infection. He tried to create a pure vessel. The Radiance's infection needs its host to have a will and a mind in order to enslave it. A pure vessel would be a creature made of void designed to lack those features. The Pale King believed that by harnessing the void inside a pure vessel, he would be able to stop the infection and keep Hallownest lasting eternal. But his method for creating this so-called pure vessel was incredibly cruel. This is where the White Lady and her King Kong-sized libido come into play. These two higher beings engaged in a union of some kind, resulting in the creation of several eggs that were dropped down into the abyss. There, the void seeped into these eggs, corrupting the offspring of the Pale King and the White Lady. This act resulted in the creation of the vessels. The vessels are not technically considered to be alive. They are shells created from the Pale King and White Lady that have been filled with the void. Within each vessel is a shade, a completely void being hidden behind the face of the vessel. Vessels are also non-gendered, I guess because they're dead or something. I'm not sure if that's how that works, but whatever. I'm not an expert on these kinds of things. I don't work at ICE anymore. Thousands of vessels were created during this process, but only one was chosen as the pure vessel. This particular vessel, chosen by the Pale King, was deemed the Hollow Knight, and was taken away to the White Palace. But I want to take a bit of a closer look at this part of the story. There are a number of questions and theories surrounding this moment that I really want to dig into. The big question surrounding this moment is, why was the Hollow Knight chosen over any other vessel? One common theory is that the Pale King took these vessels back to the White Palace and evaluated them using his giant collection of buzzsaws. This theory
That's why he has all these buzz saws in his palace. I was wondering when I was doing the White Palace climb and also the Path of Pain. I was wondering, why would he have all this? Like, this is probably gonna be like super annoying just living next to it and just hearing all the buzz continuously forever. And the electricity bill must be like super high because he's running this 24/7. But yeah, makes sense. So he's like he's training them up. Which video? I think, yeah, we're talking about this video. I'm gonna watch it till the end. But yeah, I did not. Okay, that's, yeah, I'm learning a lot in this video.
is probably the least likely explanation. It kinda exists just to explain the buzzsaws, which is quite the mystery, I'll admit, but doesn't really mesh with the vessels very well. How does being good at Super Meat Boy prove that you are a worthy vessel? And while thinking about logistics in a game about magic bugs is never a good idea, how exactly did the Pale King transfer these thousands of vessels to his palace without characters like the Dung Defender finding out? So this means that the Pale King probably made his decision without taking any of the vessels out of the abyss. So how did the Pale King make his evaluation? I think the best explanation comes from a theory I originally heard from a user named Golden Flower Fan. Basically, the vessels were hatched down at the bottom of the abyss, and the first one to make it to the top was chosen by the Pale King. In a memory of this event, we see vessels falling from above back down into the pit of the abyss. Perhaps these vessels weren't being cast down into the abyss, but fell while trying to escape out of it. The lore tablet outside the abyss appears to support this theory. It reads, "Our pure vessel has ascended. Beyond lies only the refuse and regret of its creation. We shall enter that place no longer." This tablet was likely written right after the Hollow Knight was chosen, considering that is when the entrance to the abyss was sealed off. The tablet proclaims that the pure vessel has ascended, or in other words, climbed out of the abyss. And while cut content should never be considered canon, I would just like to point out that an earlier version of this tablet, found in the game's code, was even more explicit about this. It read, "From below, our pure vessel has ascended." But how does making it to the top of the abyss first prove that the Hollow Knight is somehow a perfectly hollow vessel? Well, I think this whole concept might just be a misconception. What if the Hollow Knight wasn't any different from the other vessels? All the vessels were made in the exact same way after all. The idea that the Hollow Knight was somehow more hollow than the other vessels comes from the fact that there were so many vessels created in the first place. If they only needed one, then why create so goddamn many? I mean, this is like Octomom on steroids. Well, these are bugs we're
Well, so he's saying that the first one to escape from the deepness, not the deepness, the abyss, was pure vessel, right? And after that, it was sealed right away. Or did the knight also sneak out during that time? Because I think this is a scene where the Pale King is taking the pure vessel out of the abyss and then exiting out, closing up the door, sealing the door, and just bye-bye. Okay, thanks. I have my pure vessel. So what about the knight? Like, how was he there also? And he was about to get out of there, but the pure vessel was just tiny bit faster than him. And if so, how did he get out of how did the knight get out of the abyss? How did the knight arrive in Hallownest in the first place? That's what's interesting. It's magic. There's no electricity. Oh, I guess the trams also run on magic instead of electricity. If I like from my phone, oh, 2 likes. That's nice. I can like my own too. There we go. Now I have 5. Um, they have no taxes in Hollowness, I think. Well, I mean, somehow they have to wait. If the Pale Knight is like all powerful, then maybe they don't need taxes. But they have a king, though they love to ask for taxes. Yeah, the only two things that are certain is death and taxes. Hungry Knight was hungry. Hungry Knight was canon, and the knight really saw this sunlight. I don't know what do you mean about sunlight. There was no sunlight in this whole game, unless you mean the radiance. The radiance is the only sunlight in this game.
Talking about, so it would make sense.
Oh, that's what I was talking about.
Well,
like when you kill now Grau's mother.
Talking about.
There we go. She like pops out 2, 4, 6, 7 Grauzes, right? So is this like a costume? Doesn't look like it's an actual bug. So we just killed the pregnant lady. Wow. I don't know the development. Yeah, I don't know the development of Hollow Knight. This is the only lore video that I've watched, that I'm watching.
So it would make sense that multiple offspring would come from one egg. And it might have been a precaution to produce multiple vessels in hopes that at least one would be able to successfully escape the abyss. Now another explanation could be that the Pale King just yeeted other vessels that made it to the top first, after determining that they weren't hollow, which would better explain why so many were created. Ultimately, the exact details aren't super important, but I do find it interesting how many different interpretations can be pulled from this part of the lore. After the Hollow Knight was chosen, the Pale King sealed the doorway to the abyss, leaving the discarded vessels to rot away in darkness. These actions were not taken lightly by the Pale King or the White Lady. Both participants expressed shame in what they did, but saw no other option to save the kingdom. But the vessels weren't the only poor saps sealed away in the abyss. There's also a lighthouse that was built on top of a naturally formed spire, its light shining down on an ocean of abyss below. Inside was one of the Pale King's royal retainers, who was left in charge of keeping the lighthouse turned on. So this brave soul was willingly sealed in a dark and dangerous tomb for the rest of his life, just so he could not pull a lever. Well, at least he was living with purpose. With the abyss sealed and the Hollow Knight chosen, the Pale King's plan was beginning to come together. The Hollow Knight was raised and trained to prime form, causing it to grow several times its original size. We don't know exactly why this happened, but I guess the Hollow Knight is just a grower and not a shower.
He got the training, Super Saiyan training. Also, I guess the knight will also grow and like get stronger and better if he got the same if the knight got the same training as the Hollow Knight. So this is our only beginning. This is the only the first form. Hungry Knight was the first time the knight appeared. It was a flash game. Hungry Knight? A flash game? Really? I thought you misspelled. I thought you misspelled Hollow Knight and then the autocorrect the rest. That's why the knight appears in a few pieces of art on Newgrounds. What's Newgrounds?
We know that the Hollow Knight was trained to use a nail, but why was this even necessary? One possible explanation is that the Hollow Knight needed to protect itself in case an intruder tried to kill it. You know, like the player. Or perhaps this was important in the process of containing the radiance. Unfortunately, the details of that are never fully explained. The Hollow Knight might have somehow focused the radiance inside itself, but Team Cherry gives us no explanation of how that might have worked. But that still wasn't enough for the Pale King. Additional seals were needed in order to protect the Hollow Knight's physical body while the radiance was trapped inside of it. To achieve this, the Pale King sought the help of 3 particular bugs, who would later be known as the Dreamers: Lurien the Watcher, Motomon the Teacher, and Hera the Beast. Lurien is definitely the most mysterious of the 3 Dreamers. He lived in the Watcher's Spire in the City of Tears. From there, Lurien watched over the city with his telescope. Lurien was a pretty big fan of the king, so it probably took little convincing for him to lie down for him. Lorien might also be tied to another strange incident that occurred in the City of Tears. Hidden on some of Lurien's lore tablets are images of jars, the same jars that can be found stockpiled in the Tower of Love. This building sits on the outskirts of the city, and is the setting of one of the most bizarre bosses in the game, the Collector. The Collector is a void construct that appears to have been made from the same mold used to create
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Because like he was talking about the King's mold, but I thought that this was just for the Collector because it looks like Collector, right? But I mean, wait, the Collector is just a King's mold without without the gear, right? It's a site where people play games post animations. Oh, okay.
molds. But the Collector is unique because, well,
Good grief, he's naked!
the Collector stayed in the Tower of Love with a noble bug who likely owned the establishment. In the tower, a number of bugs can be found captured in jars, implying that these two were tasked with collecting these creatures. However, the Collector somehow became obsessed with grubs, creating a map to keep track of grubs it captured in jars, as well as keeping a strange shrine displaying a grub in the style of the Vitruvian Man. Eventually, the bug staying with the Collector decided to lock it inside the Tower of Love, and fled to the Queen's Gardens, where it died, likely due to overexposure to the void. Despite being locked up in the tower, the Collector is still spotted by the Hunter at some point, which either means this only happened recently, or the Hunter has been farting around in Hallownest for a long ass time. We have no idea what these creatures were trying to do. It's implied that the Collector was trying to preserve the creatures of Hallownest, perhaps trying to protect them from the spread of the infection, but we don't know where the Collector—
I mean, it kind of looks like he was just making a collection. He's the Collector, right? So maybe he's just collecting things. You know, people collect stamps, people collect cards. You know, like Pokemon cards. He was just a collector. Those were his collections. You know, but it doesn't have to be that deep. Dreamer, like Azrael Dreamer. No, Dreamer. I think it's spelled differently. Dreamer, like there's a UR. But yes, kind of similar. Is Silksong releasing before the last chapter of Deltarune? I mean, yeah, it's releasing in like a week and a half, isn't it? Oh wait, unless because they didn't post which year, you know, they said September 4th, but never said which year. Maybe it'll be next year.
Collector's obsession with grubs originated, and while Lurien does seem connected to all of this, we don't know how involved he was with this operation, or what its end goal exactly was. Motomon the teacher lived in the Teacher's Archives, a library built atop a lake of acid in the Fog Canyon. The lower half of her body consists of tentacles, making her a popular subject for the thriving Hollow Knight R34 community.
Oh,
The Archives and the Fog
those are
Canyon
bugs.
as a whole
Leave
are
them
also
alone.
filled with these strange Metroid knockoffs. These creatures are likely related to Motomon in some way. They could be her live offspring, her test tube babies, or possibly even her shit. Motomon uses futuristic cathode ray tube things to store information about Hallownest. Several terminals in the Teacher's Archive go into detail about the Pale King's plan to defeat the Radiants, indicating that Motomon had intimate knowledge of what she was taking part in. Finally, the Pale King sought the help of Hera the Beast, the Queen of Deepnest. Now, as I mentioned earlier, relations between Hallownest and Deepnest were kinda not great. Unlike the other
Oh,
two
so it was the Deepness monsters that came out and just like killed everything. I was wondering why. Like, was it like a rebellion, or were they always this hostile? Maybe it's gonna be explained later. Maybe I'm jumping the gun.
dreamers, Hera needed to be convinced in order to help the Pale King. Hera would eventually agree to become a dreamer in exchange for a child. The Pale King agreed, and the two engaged in a dalliance, which is a fancy way of saying they totally boned. The White Lady was okay with this arrangement. In fact, she might have been watching from the closet.
The White Ladies. Like, oh, wow. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. Well, I mean, he had so many offsprings, like in the deep, the abyss. Why, like, just give her one of them? Like, why not?
The motive behind Hera's request is never elaborated on, but it appears as though the King of Deep Nest was dead at this point. Hera was a common bug, so perhaps she desired the Pale King's pale seed so that her child could be of high birth. The bargain between Hera and the Pale King resulted in the birth of Hornet. She became known as the gendered child because, unlike the Pale King's other children, Hornet was not hollowed out by the Abyss. Hera and Hornet spent little time together, as Hera had to make good on her end of the bargain. And so the three dreamers were put to rest. Through their actions, a seal was placed over the black egg, prohibiting entrance into the chamber. These dreamers also had their own protection. At the base of Lurian's spire, the Watcher Knights guarded access to their master's body. Motomon's body was protected by a giant jellyfish named Umu. On top of this, Motomon entrusted her servant Quirrell with a mask which would be required to break an additional seal she had placed over herself. So she basically is double wrapping herself. As for Hera, we're not really sure what protected her, since it is never actually seen in-game. We don't know where this creature is hiding, but whoever it is, they really suck at their job. Now there appears to be one more element to the Pale King's plan.
She just paid somebody and they just took money and left. That's all. Silksong child. Yeah, that's very important. So now I know where, like, I didn't get that too, like during the game. I don't know where, how do they know this? Like, where did they get all this information from? But yeah, now I know. Now I know how Hornet became to be, you know? The Silksong. So it is... Wait, I mean, the knight was created by the pure knight, pure king, right? But it was just like created, made with, like he took some stuff, you know, like put it together, and that's it. That's how he made the knight. But with Hornet was actually conceived, right? If I'm getting that correct. So I mean, it's kind of like the knight is adopted, and that Hornet is actually the child of the king. So they're not even like related. They're just like step siblings, but they're also not related by blood. Hello, Radiance. What's up? How are you? We're actually learning about how you were defeated. Your backstory. Silksong is September 4th. Yeah, never said which year though. 2026, 2027. We don't know. Horn these nuts. Silksong gonna be prequel or sequel? Oh, I don't know actually. That's a good question too. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be before or after. I guess we're gonna learn during the game. We're gonna play. You know the lore this year. Are you for sure? 100%. Radiance in Farlam. But yeah, now we know how Hornet came to be. Oh, and once again, to those who joined now, the Radiance, you too. We get 50 viewers. I'm gonna do the spicy challenge with hot sauce and super extra spicy takis. Can't wait to see that anime ass cutscene from the trailer. Okay, let's go.
Involving the Weavers. Hidden away in the Weaver's Den is an incomplete seal of binding, woven from silk. This design prominently features the Hollow Knight's head, and can be found in the White Palace, as well as blocking the exit during the Hollow Knight fight. Silk spools created by the Weavers can be found in the Stag Station in Deep Nest, as well as the Stag Station next to the White Palace. These spools can also be found in the Pale King's workshop. We know that the Weavers were closely tied to Hera and Hornet, so their actions might have been a part of the deal between the Pale King and Hera. Once the Hollow Knight was ready, the Radiance was somehow channeled into the vessel, which was then placed inside of a giant black egg located in the Forgotten Crossroads. This egg was built to sustain the Hollow Knight, and itself appears to be fashioned from void. The Hollow Knight was chained up, and the entrance to the black egg was locked behind a powerful seal created by the three dreamers. Initially,
that also kind of reminds me, I don't know if you guys watched, I probably have, Kung Fu Panda. the scene where Tai Lung, I think was his name, is sealed up at the bottom of like a well, deep down is like chained, and he's standing with his like hands tied in chains, kind of like that. And who chained him? Must have been the king himself, right? That's kind of crazy. The conversation that they must have had during this must have been very awkward. Sorry, bro. Gotta chain you up. Gotta stay still, please. I'm gonna sacrifice you. At some point, the Hallownest is mentioned in Silksong. It would mean it's a sequel. Yeah, I mean, maybe they could coexist at some point and just didn't know about each other, or maybe it's just like the beginning of Hallownest, so the other kingdom wouldn't know about it just yet. You haven't watched the premiere and not gonna. I'm in Silksong spoiler. Show me mercy. I mean, I don't think they're gonna include spoilers in the trailer. It's not like movie trailers, because in movies they show you the whole ass movie because they suck at making trailers. But no, games, I don't think they spoil.
This convoluted plan actually worked, and the infection was successfully contained. Memorials to the Hollow Knight and the Dreamers were erected in the City of Tears and the Resting Grounds. But this is the part of the story where things get a little bit hazy. By the time these statues
it's gonna get hazy now.
Citizens had taken to writing on parchment woven from spider silk, which was all destroyed when water started pouring down onto the city. We don't know how long the Hollow Knight was able to completely contain the infection. Bugs from Dirtmouth used to go to the Temple of the Black Egg to pray, saying they felt at peace within the walls. But after a while, they stopped going, perhaps indicating that the infection was beginning to leak out again. The infectious air continued to seep through Hallownest for years, eventually even reaching the deepest parts of the kingdom. As it turns out, the Pale King's pure vessel wasn't quite so pure after all. The Hollow Knight had been tarnished by an idea instilled. While the game never explicitly tells us what that idea was, it does hint strongly at what it might be. Hidden away in the White Palace is a memory showing the Hollow Knight and the Pale King sharing a moment. The Hollow Knight might have developed a parental bond to the Pale King, and who could blame it? The Pale King is a pretty great dad after all. You know, if you ignore the infanticide and everything.
When I did the Path of Pain, I thought that I'm watching like a flashback memory of myself with the Pale King, but that was actually Hollow Knight. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I didn't catch that either when I played. So yeah, he got attached, and that made me that created like a little bit of like, not humanity. I was gonna say humanity, but no, like consciousness, a little bit of consciousness, just spending time with the king, the dad, I guess. A good dad, yeah, good dad. Sacrificing hundreds of thousands of creatures just to create one that's perfect, which turned out wasn't perfect after all.
Remember those smug mushroom dickheads? Well, it turns out their trust in the Pale King was a complete mistake. That shared mind isn't looking too good now, is it? In the fungal core, the corpse of a giant mushroom lies dormant. Its final thoughts were, "Pale worm, what good to see a demise unavoidable?" This could imply that the Pale King always knew that his kingdom was doomed. All he could do was delay the inevitable. This is likely the moment when Hallownest, as it once was, entirely collapsed. The Hollow Knight had not completely stopped the infection, and while it may have taken a while, Hallownest was eventually brought low. It's at this point that characters and areas begin to resemble as we know them in-game. When it became clear that the Hollow Knight was not able to contain the Radiance, the Pale King resorted to his final plan. He fucked off, hiding himself, his White Palace, and his Pale Court in the Dream World. At this point, all of the furniture in the palace was covered under white sheets, similar to how people in the real world cover their furniture while away on long trips. The palace was also completely covered with thorns and buzzsaws, similar to how people in the real world cover their houses with thorns and buzzsaws. The Pale King would eventually pass away while sitting on his throne in the White Palace. There's no confirmation on what killed him, but there are a few things to consider. The throne room is incredibly dark compared to the rest of the palace. and the particle effects and ambient track in this room are identical to that of the Abyss. All of the king's molds surrounding the Pale King are dead. The ancient basin itself also has become stained with the presence of void, as it can be seen as high as the rundown elevator shaft leading back to the city. Remember that bug that was sealed away in the Abyss to make sure the lighthouse wasn't turned off? Well, the lighthouse was turned off. I guess that whole living with purpose thing is a crock of shit after all. It seems as though the Sea of Void itself actually convinced this bug to betray his king and turn off the lighthouse. Now I know what you're thinking. Exactly how conscious is the Void? Is the Void able to think for itself? Can it form strategies? Does it host a podcast? Well, according to this Chozo statue ripoff, the Void is powerful, but not unified. So while it can thrash around at things that come near it, or call out in unison to turn off a light, it's not a single conscious being. Getting back to the Pale King, one could argue that the Void might have played a role in his ultimate demise, and I've argued that viewpoint in the past, but we have to remember that there isn't enough evidence to know for sure. As an expert lawyer and a good friend of mine, Johnny Cochran, once said, "Any evidence that the Void was involved in the Pale King's death is circumstantial." My name is Johnny Cochran. Just above the White Palace.
What I still don't get is why didn't the Pale King go after Radiance himself? Like he is a powerful being, right? He was created by the Great Worm, as we've learned today. So why didn't he go after the Radiance himself? Was he scared? Like he couldn't do it, or it was out of his reach? Because like the Dreamers they have the ability to like to create dreams. Well, did they create dreams? Who created it? I think it was the Pale King himself that was able to create all those dreams and like seal them away, right? All those beasts. So I still don't get that. And the dream nail, it also existed, right? Like they had the ability, right? So why didn't he go after Radiance himself? He can't beat you. Too strong. Or were there any attempts at least? Like go after going after the Radiance? Or they just gave up, like they just said, "Oh, too strong. Can't deal with it. Sorry." He was scared of getting infected. Well, he had hundreds of thousands of like creatures that he was creating. He could have just sent all of them at the same time, like overwhelm it with numbers, right? Like the Radiance can't deal with like 100,000 knights at the same time, can he? Can she? That's a she, I forgot. Do you think it's still going to beat Silksong at Game of the Year? Could be. Like, I mean, was the Hollow Knight the Game of the Year when it came out? I don't know which year it was released in. But yeah, so what do you think? Because it's in 2025, so what other game could potentially be Game of the Year in 2025 besides Silksong? If Silksong lives up to its hype, of course, which probably it will. But yeah, I still don't get it. Just overwhelm it. Overwhelm the Radiance. Send in 100,000 of the knights. Like, why not? Oh, Experience 33. I forgot about that. Yeah, it was praised. Yeah, Silksong definitely has the hype for it, but Expedition 33, that was supposedly, I've heard, I haven't played, but supposedly a great game. Okay.
The bugs in the City of Tears weren't faring much better. Even if we ignore the fact that the infection was still around, there were other issues that helped lead to the city's downfall. Due to the gates being sealed, some bugs resorted to cannibalism in order to avoid starvation. And there's also that metric fuckton of corpses lining the walls of the Soul Sanctum. When all was said and done, the only citizen left standing is Eternal Emelita, who just laughs her ass off about it like she's a fucking Dark Souls character.
I think she just went crazy, that's all.
Within the Queen's gardens, she decided to place bindings on herself in order to keep her from spreading her seed. She claims that this is because of the shame she feels in helping the Pale King create the vessels. But honestly, it's probably just her kink. The White Lady also diminished her power.
That's what I've been
possibly as
saying.
a way to keep herself hidden from unwanted visitors. Outside her cocoon, Drya stood guard, protecting her queen from the violent traitor mantises. Drya is eventually killed off by these bugs, which is actually pretty pathetic if you think about it. I mean, we're talking like the Netgear WPN824N N150 wireless router pathetic. Speaking of great knights dying pathetically, let's move on to Hagemul. Hagemul held the city crest, a key used to open one of the gates to the City of Tears. At some point, Hagemul's armor shell was stolen by a maggot. Now, maggots were generally looked down upon and forced to do menial labor. They were incredibly weak, and basically deserved all of the discrimination they got.
I killed them by
Maggot
accident.
decided to turn the tide, so he stole Hagemul's shell so that he could defend his downtrodden brothers. His actions weren't motivated by the infection, but instead was the result of how hierarchical caste systems will always lead to revolution from the working class, and that true freedom can only be achieved blah blah blah, capitalism is bad, subscribe to my Patreon. Ogre moved to the Royal Waterways and started living in shit, changing his name to Dung Defender.
Yeah, I learned too late that you don't actually have to kill the false knight. Like, you can leave. You can, after he smacks down the ground, the wall cracks a little bit, and you can just peace out and just leave them be. Did I play Pale Court? I did the first boss. I did Isma, and so I have 3 more, right? To be able to go into Pale Court. She can use infection, fart, and make them all infected. Don't have PC. Well, I'm playing all on PC. If you mean Pavel, he is right now. Yes, I am. I am playing the mod.
Now, I love wallowing in shit as much as the next guy, but you'd have to really love shit to put up with living with the flukes. The Dung Defender kept an unwavering sense of duty and loyalty to the king, and love for his fellow knights. So much so that he made shit statues of them. How nice. Ogrim acted as the defender of the pipeways, as
Very
well as
thoughtful of
Isma's
him.
grove. A section of the royal waterways became filled with acid, and in the middle of it all rests Isma's corpse, which has been overcome by plant life. Isma is likely the one responsible for this acid blight, but we have no idea what happened to her. Hornet's whereabouts during this time are fairly mysterious. We know that she departed Deep Nest and didn't return until the events of the game. At some point, she took to guarding Halnest from intruding warriors, as well as the cast-off.
Is that Quill?
At some point,
Why is she
took
fighting
to guarding
Quill?
Halnest from intruding warriors, as well as the cast-off shell in the Kingdom's Edge. Despite the Kingdom's woes at large, fortunately this fate did not befall one of the fandom's favorite characters. The Menderbugs continued to fix the broken signs and wayposts of Halonest. From a diary entry, we can see that one Menderbug in particular had found himself on the precipice of a long and loving relationship.
Hello again, diary. Not long now until the next Minder Bash. For us stealthy types,
What
we're a
is that?
riotous bunch when we get together. And Minderberry kept flashing me that smile. It might be time to muster my courage and act on it. I love my home and my life, but sharing it with another? Why, that'd be the berry on top.
Green Path.
Wait, is it actually canon, or is he making this up? Because I've never seen this. Menderbugs diaries. Quirrell versus Hornet, who's winning? Quirrell, definitely Quirrell. 100%. Hi, War. What's up, Yor? Yes, I'm watching the Moss's mostly complete lore of Hollow Knight. So yeah, I'm betting on Quirrell. Why am I saying Quill? Quirrell versus Hornet. Quirrell wins 100%. No doubt about it. To Canon start taking notes? Like, for real? He said all that? Like, is he...
Sharing it with another?
Oh, sharing it with another?
Why, that'd be the berry on top.
Is that too? Like berry on top? Oh, it was today. I thought you were gonna go later this week or something. How was it? Did you get to play the demo? Is Simon? Yeah, the Quirrell, he can like teleport and all that, and then like slash it. Very cool guy. Might be one of the strongest ones. in my opinion, like in Hollow Nest. It was awesome. Oh, you played the demo. First attempt, Lace? Wow, okay. Show off. Wait, the demo starts, is it like at the beginning of the game, or is it like in the middle already where you have a lot of the stuff unlocked? I hear guys you're trying to speedrun the demo. Oh, there's already a speedrun on the demo? God damn. I don't want to hear Fluckness giving me ear leaking ASMR. I can do it for you. Yeah, oh, get him in. Was that good? You never a squirrel anyway in your yard. Squirrel is the goat. It was awesome. The gameplay was really good. Yeah, already Random was also talking about it. He got to play as well. Like where is it? On Twitch. Healing puts you in a 1.5 second animation using all silk and healing 3 masks at once. And Pogo is replaced with diagonal dive in direction you're facing, dealing damage to the first enemy you hit. That's gonna be crazy. You can choose between 2 areas. Oh, nice. Choose the second one, the deep docks. Oh. But yeah, that's already like mid game, is it not? Or is it like the beginning? Did I beat Pantheon 5? No, I have not. I've gotten past all the bosses in Pantheon 4. I haven't defeated the pure vessel at the end there, so I haven't even started doing the Pantheon 5. No reviews before the game goes out. That's very good. You love Menderbugs? They're so cute, especially with the storylines he gives them. But I still like, I don't know if you guys are actually trolling or not. Is this actually canon? All the stuff that he's writing down in the diary? You play the Pale Court already? We almost finished the game. I mean the video. After the video, I wanna watch till the end. I wanna know what's it all about, because I've learned so much already during this video. So I want to see what it all ends up. Of course it's canon. Okay, fine.
It might be time to muster my courage and act on it. I love my home and my life, but sharing it with another? Why, that'd be the berry on top.
Berry on top.
Greenpath also underwent some changes during this time. The Mosskin were waiting for Un's call, which would bring them back into the dream they were originally born from. But for some reason, Un's strength deteriorated. We don't know why this happened exactly. Was it due to the White Lady claiming part of her kingdom? Was it somehow due to the infection? Some Mosskin believe that Un went into hiding, but it appears as though Un is, in fact, calling to her children. But many of the Mosskin are unable to hear her call. Instead, many Mosskin seem to have taken the Radiance's infection into their leaves, which might explain why Greenpath became overgrown with vegetation despite Un's deteriorating powers. Mossy vagabonds even openly chose to forsake Un and worship the Radiance. Another tribe to be screwed over by the Radiance is the Hive, which fell to the infection after the death of their leader, Hive Queen Vespa. But it appears as though this had little effect on their civilization. The Radiance's hive mind was already familiar to the bees, since the hive probably operated under something similar already. So in other words, the hive probably made out the best in this whole situation. Let's turn our attention back to the moths. After all, it's their god that keeps killing everybody. Well, the moth tribe didn't fare too well actually, as pretty much the entire tribe died out. The only known survivor is the seer. Despite the loss of her tribe, the seer continued to tend to the graves in the resting grounds, while also waiting the arrival of the Wielder, a mysterious being that her tribe has dreamt of for a while. In the Kingdom's Edge, the land became covered in ash molting off of the worm's decomposing corpse. The Colosseum of Fools continued to thrive. The Lord Fool passed away at some point, but nobody really seems to notice or even care. The fools inside the Colosseum were infected,
watching,
but still seem to have maintained control over themselves. It seems possible that these bugs took in the infection willingly, similar to the Traitor Lord and his followers. This would have given them an edge in combat, similar to using steroids, but without the whole shrinking.
Wait, so if you accept the infection willingly, it just like it doesn't make you go crazy, it just makes you stronger? What's the deal? What's the big deal, guys? Like, just accept it? Like, it's better than just going crazy mad and like growing cysts out of your body that you can't control, huh? I don't know. Just pick your struggles, I guess. You've watched the video about like 5 times. It's so good. This is my first time watching. This will be a nice addition to the game. Spoiler. The more you resist, the more it eats at you. So yeah, just like accept it. You can't beat it, join them. You know? Either you go crazy and you start like walking like a zombie, growing cysts out of your body, or you accept it and you get stronger. I mean, what's the downside on that? Like, explain it to me.
Testicles thing. However, even the Traitor Lord and his followers went mad, so what makes these fools any more special? As for the Pale King's champion,
Scrap that.
the Pale Lurker, well, she just went the normal kind of insane. There appears to have been another unforeseen event with the Pale King's plan. When the Hollow Knight was originally chosen, the door to the Abyss was sealed, trapping the discarded vessels within. But apparently, some vessels didn't get the memo. Vessel corpses can be found littered throughout the kingdom. There's one in the Ancient Basin, one in Greenpath, and several trapped in Nosk's lair in Deep Nest. Another vessel that escaped from the Abyss is the player character, the Knight.
How did he escape,
details
though?
on how the vessels escaped the Abyss is unclear.
Oh.
There are indications that they might have slipped into Deep Nest through some old passageway, given void influences in part of the area, and all the corpses found in Nosk's lair. At some point, all entrances to Hollow Nest were closed off, with the old well and Earthmouth being the only way to sneak back in. Despite this, several people have wormed their way into the kingdom, with few ever returning. Characters like Relic Seeker Lem seemed content to just pillage artifacts from the ruined kingdom, but other bugs seemed interested in something greater. In the Howling Cliffs rests the corpse of a member of the Grim Troop. The task of this bug appears to have been to seek out Hollow Nest, so that the troop might be summoned to the kingdom in the future. The Grim Troop are basically a group of bugs that serve a higher being known as the Nightmare Heart. The troop keeps the heart alive by feeding on the nightmares of fallen kingdoms. This process also involves sacrificing the troop master to his own child because, hey, look at this cool ass boss battle. Another important
that was a cool boss fight. But yeah, like, so there are other kingdoms. Did I remember correctly that they were saying that this was the only kingdom created by the Pale Knight, Pale King, and this was the only beacon? I don't know. Or is it just like a loop, continuous loop? So a kingdom just goes completely like crazy, batshit crazy, everything gets destroyed, and then like another Pale Knight gets born, and then they create a different kingdom, and it's just like a cycle, you know? Maybe? Or the only remaining kingdom. Oh, okay. I see. So yeah, that's why the Grim Troop comes here, I guess. This is the only place where they can feed.
The Hollow Nest are the God Seekers. After being abandoned by their old gods, the gods of thunder and the gods of rain, these bugs left their home in the land of storms, seeking out a new god to worship. The God Seekers look to gods to save them from their own silent mind. While traveling through the wastelands, the God Seekers constructed devices called God Tuners, which helped them seek out new gods. Through this device, they were able to detect the lingering power of the Pale King and find their way to Hollow Nest.
What is this shot
When
from?
they arrived, however, the God Seeker was forced into hibernation. She was encased in a strange sarcophagus-like cocoon, which was itself chained up with a lock. It's not clear how this forced hibernation worked, seeing as the cocoon appears to have been made by the God Seeker herself. As for who put the cocoon in chains, I think the most likely candidate is the Dung Defender, considering how the God Seeker's cocoon is found in the junk pit in the waterways, an area the Dung Defender has tasked himself with protecting. This was the general picture of Hollow Nest after the Hollow Knight was sealed inside the Temple of the Black Egg. The kingdom was stuck in a kind of stasis, with the Pale King civilization destroyed and the Radiants unable to break free from her chains. The Pale King was rebelling against nature, trying to keep his work standing indefinitely. The stasis over Hallownest held for an age. How long is that exactly? Well, we have no idea. As I'm sure you've noticed, there really isn't a timeline for anything that happens in this game. We also have no idea how long any of these bugs can actually live. Elderbug wasn't around to see the stagways open, but we know several other characters were, implying that Elderbug is probably one of the youngest characters in the whole game. But this stasis over Hallownest wasn't going to last forever. At some point, the Radiance erupted out of the Hollow Knight, cracking its shell and releasing a loud and powerful roar. The amount of infection leaking out of the Hollow Knight became even greater. The many corpses that lined the roads and cities of the kingdom sprang to life with the amplified power of the infection. This strengthened infection prompted the departure of the Weavers back to their old home. Now this old home might actually be Farloom, the kingdom in which Hollow Knight Silksong takes place. But the amount of knowledge we have about Silksong right now is pathetic, so I'm not saying that's confirmed or anything. This is also around the time that Quirrell arrives back in Hallownest. His memory of Motomon appears to have been clouded due to his time outside of Hallownest. These events are depicted in the Quirrell prequel comic, which also shows an image of the Hollow Knight with a pre-cracked shell.
There's a Hollow Knight comic?
Quirrell's arrival happens roughly the same time the Hollow Knight shell cracks. At around the same time Quirrell arrives in Hallownest, we also see the arrival of the player character, who is commonly referred to as the Knight. The Knight was one of the lucky vessels that was able to make its way out of the abyss. Somehow the Knight ended up venturing beyond Hallownest and into the wilds beyond. It's implied that the Knight was called to Hallownest by either the sealed Hollow Knight or the Radiants within. Regardless, once the Knight shows up and yeets itself off this cliff,
why would the Radiants call for the Knight?
Finally begins.
Oh, well, did the Radiants hope that the Knight would break free the Hollow Knight so that it can be released? Was that the thinking? Is there any lore in section? Did the Knight go to Farloom? Who knows? Yeah, we don't know, because depending on if the Silksong is a prequel or a sequel. If it's a prequel, then the Knight might have been in the Farloom. Maybe we're gonna see the Knight in the Farloom as we play as Hornet.
Now, there's a lot of details we could get into. Hallownest is full of NPCs and bosses, each with their own stories to tell. But to be honest, I don't think we need to go through all of them, since their stories are relatively straightforward. For example, let's look at the Brooding Moloch. So why is the Brooding Moloch brooding? Because all its friends are dead. And there you go, that's the lore for the Brooding Moloch. Also, it's the only character in the game with a visible asshole. Now, did you really need me to explain that to you? Probably not.
Yeah, I did not need that.
I'm just going to talk about the interactions relating to Hollow Knight's main story. The Knight is eventually noticed by Hornet, who lures it deep into Greenpath. There, Hornet attempts to kill the Knight, claiming that she knows what it would try to do. At this point, Hornet views the Knight as being too weak. After the fight, Hornet can be found in the City of Tears, next to the statue of the Hollow Knight. Hornet mentions that the Knight has gained a resilience, due to the time it spent in the void beyond Hallownest. This could be referring to the fact that some of those who leave Hallownest lose their memories, meaning the Knight would have no memories of its own tragic conception. Hornet tells the Knight that if it's...
I'm pretty sure that was the only place where we see our reflection in the game, right? Doesn't know the Knight. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But maybe the Knight was stalking her. Just hiding in the shadows. A little bit of text or lore, like when you interact with the smith in the deep docks and some kind of tablet that lists some materials for something. Oh, there's gonna be crafting. There's gonna be crafting in the Silksong now. It's a sequel, is confirmed. Oh. Okay, well. Oh, that's another question I have for Silksong. So it's gonna choose one of the endings of Hollow Knight to continue off of, right? Because there are 5 different endings to Hollow Knight. So which one did it choose as the ending that is gonna roll into the Silksong? That's my question. Jin resembles some of the enemies in Silksong. Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe they traveled. You really enjoyed the demo? Oh, jealous. I want to play too.
Seeks to continue the stasis that keeps Hallownest standing, it must seek the Graven Ash, which is referring to the Kingdom's Edge. At this moment, Hornet sees the Knight as a possible replacement for the Hollow Knight. Basically, the Knight could break the seals that keep the Hollow Knight locked away, defeat the Hollow Knight, and contain the infection itself. It's at this point that I should mention that Hollow Knight actually has 5 different endings.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Of course it would. I'm going to be explaining each of these endings in this video, as they each give us a different glimpse into the mechanics of Hollow Knight's world. Now, to get the easiest ending to Hollow Knight, Hornet's instructions to go to the Kingdom's Edge can be ignored completely. If the Knight stumbles upon the resting grounds, the 3 dreamers will appear and cast the Knight into the Dream Realm. There, Seer will come to the Knight's rescue and grant it the Dream Nail, a special blade that can tear the veil between the real world and the dream world. With the Dream Nail, the Knight can venture to the resting places of the 3 dreamers, curb stomp their asses, and unlock the entrance to the Black Egg. Inside the egg, the Knight finds the Hollow Knight chained up, silently watching over it. Once the chains are broken, the Hollow Knight screams with that familiar Radiance roar and pursues the Knight. As the fight progresses, the Hollow Knight starts trying to kill itself, Quirrell style. But then the Radiance starts using the Hollow Knight's body to perform her own attacks. Once defeated, the Hollow Knight begins to spew infection all over the place. The Knight can then focus the infection into itself. This results in the first ending of the game, called Hollow Knight. In this ending, the Knight usurps the Hollow Knight, prolonging the stasis over Hallownest. New chains and bindings appear out of fuck if I know, and contain the Knight, and a new seal is placed over the entrance to the Black Egg. Now there is one giant question looming over this ending.
Well, maybe Hornet
Can the
did
Knight
that.
actually contain the infection indefinitely, or will the Radiant still manage to break free one day? Before we answer this question, let's look at some of the other events that can transpire while playing the game. If the player chooses to go to Kingdom's Edge, Hornet will challenge the Knight one last time as a final test of strength. After her defeat, Hornet allows the Knight to access the cast-off shell, where the Pale King was originally hatched. By interacting with this egg, the Knight's shell is marked with the King's brand, technically making the Knight the new ruler of Hallownest. With the King's brand, the Knight can now open the entrance to the Abyss and discover the place of its birth. When leaving the Abyss, the Knight can encounter Hornet again, where for the first time, Hornet suggests that there are actually 2 outcomes the Knight can enact. She tells the Knight that it can either prolong Hallownest's stasis, or face the heart of the Kingdom's infection. Within the Knight, Hornet sees a chance for change. Instead of just replacing the Hollow Knight, Hornet believes that it may be possible to get rid of the infection completely by using the void inside of the Knight. After visiting the Abyss and obtaining the Shade Cloak, the Knight is capable of reaching the White Lady, hidden away in the Queen's Gardens. The White Lady tells the Knight that she has been awaiting a vessel to accept a gift, that gift being one half of a charm called the King's Soul, which she claims will give the Knight more power. The White Lady goes on to explain that she can feel the weakening of the Hollow Knight within her roots. She tells the Knight that it is free of the blemishes that made the Hollow Knight a flawed vessel. From this dialogue, it is implied that the Knight...
she had so much time to think about it. She finally came up with a solution. Just give the vessel some part of the king's heart, the king's soul. You already know some spoilers? Wow. Team Sherry doesn't want the reviews before the release date. There should be minimal spoilers. Silksong ending is the ending where the temple symbols turn into a hornet symbol. Well, that's the one. Wait, is that the one where Hornet also goes into the Black Egg Temple and they die together? I don't remember.
Truly is a pure vessel, capable of containing the Radiance successfully. But it's not quite that simple, so we're gonna have to dig a bit deeper into this. Basically, we're gonna need to answer a simple question. What exactly does it mean to be a Hollow Knight? Despite the White Lady's words, we have a number of instances where the characters and item descriptions mention that the Knight has a will, and maybe even a mind. But from the Pale King's dialogue when describing the Hollow Knight, It is stated that a pure vessel has no mind or will. So is the White Lady wrong? Or maybe even lying? Her eyes have been clouded by time, and she can be tricked into thinking that Ogrim is in the room when the knight is wearing the Defender's Crest charm. She also thinks that Drya is still alive, which,
Awkward.
so maybe the White Lady is just senile. My problem with that theory is that the White Lady states that the vessels stand out to her clearly in a misted world, due to them being her spawn. She also questions whether or not the knight sought her aid, which would imply that the knight must have some kind of will. So for whatever reason, the White Lady thinks the knight is still capable of containing the radiance, even if it's still able to make decisions. After all, the Hollow Knight was considered pure, but they still taught it how to wield a fucking sword. I mean, if the knight were truly and completely hollow in a literal sense, it probably shouldn't even be able to walk, or draw a map, or open a goddamn
It'd be a
bank
vegetable.
account. In short, this whole concept of being hollow is so abstract and hard to define, I don't really feel comfortable giving a solid answer on whether or not the knight is or isn't truly hollow, and I think the game leaves room open for other interpretations.
I mean, I don't think anything can be truly hollow. Like, even if it was hollow at the beginning, if you tell it to do something, it becomes filled with the intention to do it. So how can it be truly hollow? I don't think that's possible.
Of course, the White Lady's gift is useless without the other half of the King's Soul. In order to reach it, however, the knight must travel to the White Palace, locked inside the body of a King's Mold. In order to bypass the seal, the knight must use a fully awakened Dream Nail. It can do this by bringing 1800 essence to the seer, allowing her to sharpen the weapon's blade. If the knight does this, the seer remarks that the knight truly is the wielder that her tribe has been dreaming of. There's no explicit reason why the Moth tribe was dreaming about this supposed wielder so much, but it seems like they believe the wielder would wash away the crimes the Moth tribe committed by turning their backs on the Radiance. The seer seems to know that the knight might kill the Radiance, and she seems accepting of it, ready for her and her tribe to disappear and be forgotten forever. With the awoken Dream Nail in hand, the knight can travel to the Pale King's refuge and locate the other half of the King's Soul charm. When equipped, the King's Soul provides a never-ending supply of soul, making it almost useful if it weren't for the insanely high cost of the charm, and the painfully slow rate at which it increases, and the fact that the charm will get replaced in about 5 minutes after you get it. The King's Soul charm itself symbolizes the union between two higher beings. To me, this implies that the King's Soul is a representation of a vessel, which also was created by the union of two higher beings. With the King's Soul in their inventory, the knight now gains access to an area in the abyss called the Birthplace. In this massive pile of vessel shells, the knight can find a giant egg. Dream nailing the egg allows the knight to access its own memory when it was cast down into the abyss. From viewing that memory, the King's Soul charm is replaced with the Void Heart charm. The recollection of this event allows the knight to come to terms with the void inside itself. Once the knight has the Void Heart, the shades in the abyss no longer attack it, and that strange creature that gives the knight the Shade Cloak calls it the Lord of Shades. In other words, the knight has now bound the once fragmented void under its own will, allowing it to control the void in a powerful new way. With the union of the void, the Pale King, and the White Lady, the knight has gained a strength before unseen. It is with this charm that 2 additional endings become unlocked. Hornet will now be standing outside of the Black Egg, offering to help the knight should the opportunity arrive. Midway through the fight with the Hollow Knight, Hornet rushes into battle, subduing the Hollow Knight and piercing its shell. It's at this point that the knight is given the perfect opportunity to enter into the mind of its sibling, fighting the source of the infection head on, and finally putting an end to the Radiance's tyranny. Or it can just stand there and let Hornet get knocked unconscious. If the knight finishes off the Hollow Knight as usual, the sealed sibling ending occurs. Basically, it's the same as the Hollow Knight ending, but now Hornet is in the room too, and her face
Just an
appears
extra
on
casualty.
the door of the Black Egg. It's not clear what exactly this means for Hallownest. This might imply that Hornet is now a dreamer, but she's inside the temple, meaning that no one can actually get in there to kill her should the knight ever start leaking infection. At the same time, Hornet mentions that the bindings of the Black Egg would drain her, so she's probably just going to die anyway, right? Generally, people consider this to be one of the worst endings, but it's worth pointing out that Team Cherry doesn't support any one ending as being the true ending. Each ending is canonical in its own right, And honestly, this ending isn't the worst. At least the Knight and Hornet will get to spend some quality time together. If the Knight does dream nail the Hollow Knight, it will be taken to an arena where it can finally fight the Radiants head on. But the Knight isn't alone, as the other shades from the Abyss will appear in order to help corner the Radiants. Eventually the
Like
Radiants
through
gets
the
trapped
power
in the
of
tendrils
friendship.
of the Void. The Knight bitch slaps her a couple times, and then the Radiance is consumed into the darkness. The Black Egg then appears to turn to shadows and the Void seeps down into the ground. Hornet awakens to find the Knight's broken shell lying on the floor. We get one final shot of the Shades in the Abyss going to rest, and the game is over. This ending is called the Dream No More ending. The Radiance is gone, and Hallownest is finally free from her infection. Now I think it's fair to ask a few questions about how the Dream No More ending comes about. When the Hollow Knight was initially chosen to become the pure vessel, the Abyss was sealed up and the rest of the vessels were left to rot away. But somehow vessels ended up outside of the Abyss, and then one of those vessels was used to replace the Hollow Knight. Exactly how much of this operation was planned, if at all? The White Lady was waiting for a vessel. Did she have any communication with Hornet? Hornet was guarding the King's Brand, the only way for a vessel to enter the Abyss. How did she know it was necessary to guard the King's Brand from weaker vessels? Hell, if the vessels did escape the Abyss by themselves, wouldn't it be pointless to guard the King's Brand, since the vessels could just creep back into the Abyss the same way? I'm not going to provide any good answers to these questions, because God forbid I answer anything in this entire video. But I do want to point out that no plans to actually produce the Dream No More ending are explicitly stated in-game. So we can only speculate as to whether or not the White Lady or Hornet, or maybe even the Pale King, knew that they could defeat the Radiants by creating a Lord of Shades like the Knight. Regardless, the next two endings were definitely not planned. In fact, the last two endings that were added in the Godmaster
I didn't
update
get this one.
almost feel out of place. The Godseekers basically hijack everything to the point where you don't even have to enter the Temple of the Black Egg to beat the game. That's like beating Mario Bros without ever seeing Bowser. But on the other hand, the Godmaster endings basically reinforce that Hallownest does not exist in a vacuum, which can help the world of Hollow Knight feel more real, because what else is reality but just a bunch of random chaotic stuff happening all the time? If the Knight finds the Godseeker in the Junk Pit, it will be able to enter her mind and refight all the bosses in the game. This is part of the Godseeker's ritual. They basically attune to the resonance of gods through ritual combat. This allows them to ascend their minds higher, and eventually, through the use of godly focus, achieve communication with the gods sleeping in Hallownest's heart, the Radiants. Now I know what you're thinking. That's a pretty convoluted little religious practice they have going on here. What's next? Are they going to start measuring the Knight's Theon levels? It's pretty complicated, but the point is, these Godseekers...
I don't know if you guys got that, but that's the Scientology that they do that. I watched a guy, he kind of infiltrated with his friend the Scientology. They had like those spying glasses with the camera on. That was kind of crazy. They actually do that. They have like a stupid device where you have to like hold on to it, and it like measures your Thadian. Did he say Thadian? Thadian levels or something like that. It's like a scam. I don't know. And they even went to like masses, and they look crazy. Like what they do during that is crazy. There's a funny episode in South Park where they actually talk about the real beliefs that the Scientology holds. So they basically were there was a volcano, I think, that erupted and like threw souls into the air, and then those souls kind of like popped into like people or something, took them over, and they're waiting for Xenu, I think was the name, the Xenu, that they're gonna like come and like save them. What? Forgot. Okay, I don't remember the whole story, but yeah, they believe in like Xenu. It's like an alien type of thing that's gonna like come on a UFO and just like it's crazy. But yeah, you guys can like watch the South Park episode on that, or the guy that I talked about. Forgot his name, but you can probably search like Scientology pranked or Scientology something. It's gonna show up pretty easily. But that's crazy. That's crazy that they do that. Did I say South Park? South Park. Yeah, they even they had a lot of people that are trying to sign up for Scientology before that, but after the episode aired, the more and more people found out about what they believe in and how crazy it is. And there's even a guy in LA that like harasses kind of Scientology because they have an official building trying to recruit people to come in, and so he like comes up with a camera and like screams at them, "Oh hey, that's a scam! That's a scam!" Trying to get the people to like come out and not go in, and they know him. Like as soon as they see him, they just go inside and like close doors. Crazy. Oh, and I don't like some of very high profile celebrities are in Scientology, like Tom Cruise. That's the one. I think that's the most popular one. But that's crazy how they got some of these like very famous people to join. Yeah, I got sidetracked. Sorry.
Have some serious capabilities to fuck things up in Hallownest, as we're about to see. As the night makes it further and further through the four pantheons, the Godseekers get closer and closer to making contact with the Radiance, locked away inside the Hollow Knight. At the end of the fourth pantheon, the Radiance makes herself aware in this strange reunion cutscene between the vessels. But she isn't the only one to make an appearance. The Void itself appears to go on the attack, rising up to meet the Radiance's call. It's at this point that the final challenge, the Pantheon of Hallownest, becomes available. The Godseeker finally acknowledges the Knight as being more than just a simple cringer, and they begin to watch the Knight more intently. After defeating like a
So yeah, because like each time you get to the last fight, they're like, "Oh, why are you fighting them? Like, oh, you shouldn't be here, whatever." I guess this time they actually acknowledged you. Yeah, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is in Scientology. There was another one. The Taekwondo guy. Tom. What his name? He did like a lot of action movies with Aikido. A guy like usually wears glasses with like a ponytail and a goatee. Forgot his name. But yeah, that's crazy too. And now no, not Tom Hanks. Is Tom Hanks also in Scientology? No, I was talking about but he's the guy I'm talking about now too is kind of crazy. Aikido actor. I forgot his name. Oh, Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal. Yes, that's the guy. He's kind of crazy now. He doesn't have money and he like goes around, does like very silly movies. Steven Seagal. He used to be quite famous. I don't know if he is still, but he. Oh yeah, this is the funny. You should watch this video. It's very funny too. Talking about Steven Seagal. I love John Tro show. But yeah, that's the guy. Steven Seagal also in Scientology. Tom Cruise. Scientologist. Yeah, he says like it's a beautiful religion and whatnot. They use him as a front man to like bring in more people and all that. La 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 lava. No, Jack Black. I don't think he's in Scientology. I don't know, at least. Yeah, but once you go in, it's so hard to get out of there. From what I've heard, like they have everything on you. They just like suck you in and it's like sticky situation. So maybe he even wants to leave, but you just can't. You know. Oh yeah, the Scientologist. We pranked. Oh, this is the guy I was talking about. the one that goes around with the camera, just bothering these people. Is it this guy, Tommy G? I think I've seen his video too. Oh yeah, I watched it. But there's another guy that like infiltrated, like actually infiltrated it. Forgot the. Oh, my stream. Oh, this guy, Reckless Ben. I don't know what he does now, but the Scientology stuff, like he goes deep. He went in. He actually got signed up and all that. Religion, yeah, it is kind of a religion, but I think it's a scam for people to like pay money and like have control over you. I don't know why people fall into this. It's crazy. Maybe they just got the religion stamp because they just don't want to pay taxes. I think. But yeah, it's crazy. Time to try to beat Pentium 3 again. For what? I did it already. I don't want to do it again. Maybe I think I could do it though.
Million bosses in the final pantheon, the knight finally comes face to face with the Absolute Radiance, a stronger, more enhanced version of the game's final boss. Finally, the stage is set. After roughly 40 minutes of intense agony and tedious boss battles, the knight has finally reached the ultimate enemy responsible for the destruction of Hallownest. Truly, this will be a battle for the ages. But first, let's check in on our old pal Menderbug. As it turns out, he's still alive when the knight arrives in Hallownest, and he's still fulfilling his duty after all this time. Let's take one last look at his diary.
My lovely diary. Someone's gone and broke my favorite sign, right there at the top of the crossroads. Keeps happening too, but you know, I just can't get mad about it. I should be thanking them, really. More chances to fix that beautiful, complex sign.
Bro just loves his job.
On spare parts, so I've no fear it'll ever stay broken for long.
Unfortunately, the only way to ever read the Menderbug's diary is to kill him in cold blood. I'm not sure why Team Cherry thought this was necessary, but the general consensus on Reddit is that they are bloodthirsty warmongers, so it checks out. But at least Menderbug's last moments will be spent fixing one of his favorite signs in the Forgotten Crossroads. It's comforting to think that his final seconds of consciousness were spent in total bliss, before we sent him hurtling into the infinite chasm that is Oblivion.
Didn't even know what to kill him.
Anyways, the alternate fight between the Knight and the Radiance plays out differently than in the vanilla ending. This time around, the Knight is not accompanied by any shades. Instead, after defeating the Radiance, the Knight seems to transform into this monstrosity. Now this creature goes by many names. The God of Gods, the Lord Shade, the Devourer, the Void Entity. But I don't really like any of those, so I will just call him Bill. Bill proceeds to completely annihilate the Radiance in spectacular fashion.
Statues?
We are then treated to the embrace.
Did he make him himself?
Ending. Bill comes back down from the sky, dropping into the rest of Godhome. The Godseeker starts to get pulled into Bill by Void tendrils. We then cut to the Godseeker in the junk pit. Void starts leaking out of her eyes, and it appears as though Bill is making an escape back into the real world, which is probably a bad thing? Finally, we see Hornet standing outside of the Black Egg as the infection begins to disappear from nearby vines. Hornet hears footsteps coming from inside the Black Egg as the Hollow Knight reveals itself to her and the two prepare for combat. So from this cutscene, we can see that the Radiance's death in Godhome actually did kill her for real, meaning that the infection over Hallownest is now gone. This means the seals inside of the Black Egg probably wore off, allowing the Hollow Knight to escape its prison. In other words, the Embrace of the Void ending is a goddamn cliffhanger, and we have no idea how Team Cherry plans to follow this up. The Hollow Knight is running loose in Hallownest, and the Knight has transformed into a raging void monster that might try to destroy the entire kingdom, or at least what's left of it. What's even more strange about this ending is that the announced sequel, Hollow Knight Silksong, doesn't seem to be related to this ending at all, but that's a whole different shit show. Obviously, the biggest mystery surrounding this ending is the appearance of Bill. Did this creature exist in the void already, or was it somehow willed into existence by the power of the Godseekers? Did the Knight turn into this thing, or did it just become a part of it? Examining a statue of this creature and other forms of the Knight grant the player a Hunter's Journal entry for an ancient artifact called the Void Idol, which might imply this creature might have been worshipped by the ancient civilization. But again, that's pure speculation. We don't know what this worship of Void exactly looked like. Maybe the Void they worshipped took the form of something more sinister. There is one thing we know about this monster though. It's weak to flowers. Yes, these things. As it turns out, those delicate flowers that Zamir has stockpiled up her ass are actually useful for something. They contain a strange power that even deters the White Lady from touching one. The Godseeker, however, is dumb enough to accept a flower from the Knight. If the player does this, instead of Void being released out into the world, this flower pulls a no you, and the Godseeker and Void disappear into thin air. The flower itself is described as giving off a pale light, which appears to connect it to the pale beings. Like I said before, pale beings appear to be some form of top tier gods. As of right now, we are only aware of two, the Pale King and the White Lady, but the fact that Zamir brought these pale flowers from a faraway land implies that there are definitely more of them out there. Another small hint of the existence of pale beings are the pale ore items that can be found all over Hallownest. Did these come from the Pale King, or possibly some other pale being? And what exactly are they? Are they poop? In general, the Godmaster endings appear to be doing a lot of setup for future Hollow Knight content. Like I said before, Hollow Knight Silksong doesn't seem to connect to these events on the surface, so we are in a bit of a bind when trying to discuss what these endings actually mean for the greater narrative Team Cherry is building. There's definitely a lot more to consider about what the Pale Beings are and what properties they possess, and we also have plenty of questions surrounding the Void and how bugs have interacted with it in the past. It almost feels like we are looking through a keyhole, trying to grasp onto the totality of Team Cherry's creation. How powerful are creatures like Bill and the worms? Where did things like the Void even come from to begin with? How much bigger is the world beyond Hallownest? Is Bardoon into butt stuff? But of course, that's the appeal of a game like Hollow Knight. Having all of the answers to every question would just ruin the mystery of the world. Plus, if we didn't have questions like this to waste our time on, then what else would we be doing with our lives? Go outside?
Yeah.
And so this video comes to an end. Now I know the average attention span of a YouTube viewer is 9 minutes, so let me leave you with a few takeaways. 1. Hollow Knight is a game about bugs. I know this may come as a shock, but it's true.
It's
Watch
about
the video
bugs?
again,
No.
and this
Wow,
time,
what?
pay attention. You'll notice right away, I promise.
No way.
2. Murdering your own babies might not be such a good idea after all. I mean, this
Good
is
tip.
obviously just my
Good
interpretation of the
parenting tip.
game's lore. Other people might have different views on the subject of murdering babies, and every opinion is valid, so I don't want to step on anyone's toes or anything. 3. Menderbug is fucking dead. 4.
I didn't kill him.
Nothing is certain. This video probably has a few flaws in it. Trying to construct a cohesive narrative with the information found in Hollow Knight isn't exactly straightforward. I'm sure my views will change in the future, and I encourage you to explore the lore yourself. 5. And this last point is fairly obvious, but I should mention it anyway. Cory in the House is the best anime.
How is that even an anime?
It's a party every week,
Who
baby.
won Mollabs?
That's right, I'm in the house.
Wow. That must have taken a lot of research. That's crazy. This many people actually worked on it? Wow.
I'm your man.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a lot of information that I just tried to intake, but still things that I don't know and I would like to know. Why haven't they just tried to attack Radiance straight on? I don't think that was talked about in this video. Like the Pale King, he had like hundreds of thousands or how many voidlings, or I can call them voidlings. He had an army of voidlings. Why not just like front attack? Just go after the Radiance. And even if the king himself was too weak, he could have just gotten more of them voidlings to help him. Just go. Just rally up your troops and go. What the hell? The Radiance was alone by himself. Like, why not? Bro. It was all there. Okay, let me pull up what's the game called? Hollow Knight. It's not real. Tisa is a secret boss in Pale Court. Oh, you can find him? I forgot. I might have to look up where's the location. Pale Court bosses. Yeah, that was a. Oh, did I leave a like? I forgot. We did. I went to that. No. We did Isma. We have Zamir, Drya, and Hegemol. The closest one to where I am right now, because I think I'm sitting on a bench somewhere here, right? So we can go after Zamir, maybe? Zamir's, wait, kind of far. This one closer, Drya. Hegemol. Wait, Hegemol might be a little closer. Yeah, maybe we can go after Hegemol. You need to sleep now. Thanks for watching. Flower? What do you mean flower? Oh, the flower lady? What was her name? Oh, that was her, right? Zamir. Sure. Drya? Drya has the best charm? Okay, guys, so Zamir or Drya? We have two contenders. Flower boss Zamir. Deltarune Chapter 7 leak? Already? How? Let me look at it. Just sending memes. Okay. That's nice. I have this one on. Wait, is the sound too loud? Let me turn it down maybe a bit. Oh, here we go. So we are gonna go towards okay, we didn't decide yet. Zamir or Drya, guys? Zamir? Make a poll? How do I make a poll? I don't know how to make a poll. I haven't done this before. In Google? Oh, okay, sure. Let me poll maker. Zamir or Drya. And we have second Drya. Whatever. Create poll. There's my YouTube. Oh, here we go. Should work, right? Wait, how do I see? Whatever, I'm just gonna subtract one. We have... Okay, show count. We have 222 minus my one, which I chose Zamir. So seems like Drya. We're gonna go with Drya, huh? Okay, so Drya is here, all the way in the garden, right? Wait, do I have to refresh it? Yeah, so we're gonna go with Drya. So we have to go all the way here. Let me switch to the game first. There we go. I also, by the way, if you guys haven't noticed, I also have the extra change in the colors. Oh, it added the hunter's remark. Kindly Isma, champion from a brighter age, protected the king and watched over the grove where she would eventually rest. Ah, Isma, where do I begin? Your kindness had no bounds. Even in battle, I could sense your sorrow for our fallen foes. While my oath forbids it, I ought to pay you a visit someday. Ogrim the 5 Nights. That's nice. Okay, let's put on... Oh, I'm not sitting. Now I'm sitting. So let's put on this. This, why not? We have to go all the way to Queen's Gardens, right? The closest tag is... Where's the stag? There's no close tags nearby. In charms before 2+2. Really? You can't heal when I have that on? Oh, whatever. So yeah, we're going to Queen's Gardens. We're on our way. King's Station is the closest. And it's gonna take us to... Oh yeah, there is a... Okay, yeah, we can go to King's Station, like you suggested. I think it's this way. We're in the city of Tears already. Do you guys like this change in hue? The colors? Gosh. Oh, I forgot I have the white defender's crest on. Is it actually any better than the Dung defender's crest? Like how much more damage does it actually do? Let's see. Oh, it stays with him too. Like it latches onto him for a while. There we go. Hey, that's actually pretty good. You smell heroic. Smell that Old Spice. I'm not sponsored by Old Spice. Wait, did I go too far? Oh shit. Where am I? Oh yeah, I went too far. Oh, it even killed an enemy for me. I still haven't opened up this door. I don't even know where to find the lever for that. There's some Geo hiding there this whole time. I don't know how to open it. Hello. One ticket, please. To Queen's Gardens. Queen's Garden, please. If I look 767, well, I think that's because of the Boeing 767. It might have been like subconsciously put in my mind, because when I was making a lot of the game IDs, I usually would do like number 6 a lot, because back in like primary school, my number in the list of students would be like usually 6. So when I would make my player IDs, I would usually use 6. So like I would just make 6 6s, right? But sometimes they would be taken, or it would be like too long. So for some reason I just thought that 7 is close to 6, and then it just rolled off nicely off my tongue like 787. Maybe I've been conditioned by Boeing. Oh, I went... Oh, no, we're going in the right direction, right? Wait, can we pass through there? No, I don't think we can. I'm gonna go the other way. But yeah, that's why 787. There's no special meaning behind it, just because 7 was close to 6 and 6 was my number. But 787 because it just felt good. I think it's this way. Okay. 90 hours in this game and I still can't parkour. Are we going the right? Yeah. Go down, go down. Nice. Okay, second attempt. Skill issues for sure. Not denying that. I think he was on the left here. Oh, I need to wait. Here we go. Perfect. See? No skill issues here. Oh, that's where he fought the Traitor Lord. There was a lot of green now, but it's purple now. But it looks nice. Well, I fought Isma already. She gave me the crest, Defender's crest, a king's honor.
Unique charm bestowed by the King of Hallowest to his most loyal.
Yeah, I already
knight.
defeated Isma.
Scratched and dirty,
And by the way,
but still cared
to
for.
those who are joining now,
Causes the bearer to
I'm still
emit a
waiting for
heroic
50 people
odor.
so we can do the very spicy hot challenge where we're gonna burn off my mouth with super spicy tacos, takis, and bulldog hot sauce. That looks nice. I like the color shift. Okay, let's see what she has for us. Oh, I forgot to change the freaking charms for this fight. I have the I have the compass on. The background is purple because I downloaded a mod that changes the hue. Oh, we straight in. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let me see what you have for me. Okay, zero. Oh, oh, oh. Wow, she is fast. Let me. Why are you so fast? Okay. Oh, what is this? Whoa. Okay, shockwaves. Okay, a lot of. I see a lot of pure vessel attacks. Ah. She is fast. Okay, what is this? Oh, second phase. Asha. Satona. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, I'm dying so. Ow. Wow, that was. That was. Okay. Well, I got to second phase. That wasn't bad, right? I should change my charms, maybe. I definitely don't need the compass. I don't need the swarm. And I do have Fluke
Living
Nest.
charm.
Oh, I should be using Fluke Nest. Let me try again. So that was my first death. I'm at 57 now. Let's see how many it will take. Wait, shh. Okay. Oh, I'm doing so good right now. I overshot. Ay. Good snipe there. Asha is saying. Hey, what is this? That's the third stage. Wow, why is she so fast? Wow. What the hell? Was that it? Was that it? Hegemol, do you still stand guard forever loyal to the capital's citizens? Bro, that was my second attempt. What? Wow. That was very fast. I did. Okay, I was not expect. To be totally honest, I did not expect that I'll be able to beat this boss during this stream. Wow. Mark of Purity. What does it do? Let's see. Let's see this bad boy. Where's my inventory? The vessel was gifted a pure nail forged through arcane means as a reflection of itself. What does that even mean? This charm embodies the echoes of that ancient craftsmanship. Hold attack to concentrate and swing the nail in a frenzy. gradually increases the bearer's attack rate as they land nail strike in quick succession. What? Wow. Best charm. Okay, I think I'm gonna take off definitely
Increase
quick slash. Why would I need quick slash? Why? I'm not at the
born
bench. I cannot do it right now. Okay, let's see mommy actually. Wanted to visit her. I wonder what color she is. I think still blue, still white. Hello. How are you?
That scent.
Ah.
Does another travel with you? Is that you, Ogrim, my mighty knight?
Oh, she remembers the smell.
I cannot see you, but then time has clouded my eyes, and I cannot see much. Even your booming voice falls silent upon me.
I have no voice. How can she hear my booming voice?
Only this small one I register, if maybe because it shares some piece of myself. This one stands clear upon a misted world.
Maybe she was hearing the boom. Get 5 booms. Boom, 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 boom. It's you can stack the quick slash and that charm.
But my
That must be busted.
that potent smell does recall such joyous memory.
Oh.
Only a short moment we had together, compared to ruin now endured. But what shining times they were.
What a freaky white lady.
I am grateful you would visit, even if to see me in somewhat faded form.
Girl, you dazzling. Oh no, I didn't.
Dear Ogrim, I'm sure you saw Drya on the way in. She stood guard. over
Yeah,
me
about
for
that.
so long.
About that.
Despite her hard front, she's always been a caring type. I'm sure she'll much enjoy a
Yeah, that's
night's
a little
reunion.
awkward, but you know, maybe I shouldn't tell her. Maybe I should. She's gonna be here anyways. Let's just leave her thinking that the Drya is still guarding. That she's still at her post. Okay, well, that was surprisingly fast. Let me check where's the next. We can go for, I think Hegemol is the closest one now. And that's in the yeah, I see. Next to the entrance to the City of Tears. So we can, let me see, where's the, oh, I wanted the map. Yeah, I can take the stag to Queens, maybe, because I think the entrance to the City of Tears is closed off. Storage room stag. You mean this one in the middle here, right? This one here. I can use this one. Oh, you can use the cities. Okay. Wait, I didn't have to go through all this. I could have just gone the right way. So first things, oh dang it. We're gonna go to Stags and do it. Well, I'm not too sure if the entrance to the City of Tears is still open. Oh, that's not the way. I pressed jump. Nice. This is last time I remember it was closed off. Wait, I think I might have gone the wrong direction. Oh yeah, it's... Oh, okay. I should have gone left. Son of a gun. Leave me alone. My stench killed it. Oh goddamn, we're actually getting slowly but surely close to 50. I don't know if I want to actually do the spicy challenge. Because that stuff is actually spicy. Okay, let's see. So I can take off I don't need flukeness, do I? The swarm, I don't need the swarm for sure.
Increases health of the bearer.
We can put on, this is three notches. So I might have to get rid of something. Look nest and the compass. Oh no, still overcharmed. Wait, did I not calculate correctly? I have two. Still need one then. Well, I could take the unbreakable heart, put on mark of purity, and I still have one more. Grab song maybe?
Contains the gratitude of freed grubs.
The hunter's journal. Okay, let's see. There we go. Fierce Dryad, champion from a brighter age, protected the queen in her gardens and fought vigilantly against the mantis traders when the infection spread. Dryad, your fierceness in combat was one of a kind. It was almost like watching an elegant dance when you confronted the kingdom's foes. While you put on a hard front, I'm thankful I was among the few you'd call friend. Ogrim the Five Knights. Well, Ogrim was friends with everybody. Okay, we have to travel. So you guys were saying the storm rooms, right? Will be the closest. This one, this one right here in the middle. On the map, it visibly looks like it's the closest, but I'm not too sure if that gate is opened. But let's see. Let us see. Just need to go down. Okay, and to the left. Oh, purity. I forgot about that. Yeah, I just hold it. Wow. That's actually... And it gets faster? Oh, so I have to be up in the air so the pogo goes off. Okay. That's so cool. Look, oh wait. I thought I'm not gonna even have to like worry about pogoing. I just hold it, but no, it actually... That's so cool, actually. Oh, I missed it. Yeah, I don't even have to think about like trying to hit the bosses now. I just hold X and just like... Oh yeah, see, that's what I was talking about. I don't think... Wait, can I? Wait, I think I can. Yeah, there we go. There it is. Let's see. I'm at 57 deaths. Let's see. What is that? I just saw something on the left side. Family portraits. Nice. There's like people hanging... There's bugs hanging in the back. Oh wait, this kind of looks like when the kingdom was in its like prime, because the tram is working. Yeah, see, that was a tram. Yeah, I'm looking at the background. I think, yeah, we just teleported like back in time or something. I don't know what these are. We basically, yeah, we went back in time. Oh! Well, that's so cool. Yeah. This is back at... Oh, wait, and now I have to fight. Oh, shoot. Okay. Whoa. What the heck? I didn't even see myself. Whoa. This guy's pretty fast. Okay, this one will probably take me more than 2 tries. Oh, he starts so fast. Whoa, whoa. The particles. Whoa. Okay, I got through to the first stagger. And I'm guessing there's gonna be 3 of them. He has the most health? I would have guessed that Isma had a lot of health because I was hitting her and like she was not going down. Okay, that's gonna be a long one. Well, what if because I'm still not used to using this charm that speeds up my attacks. What if I use the attacks and I use spells at the same time? I thought it was gonna be a secret. Never mind. Let's go. Ah, I forgot. Uses his their particles of like barrels falling from the sky too. Maybe I should have used the one that gives you more health so I can survive longer. This stream isn't syncing for you? Well, it's not lagging, according to my OBS at least. Is it lagging for anybody else? Oh, it looks fine, I think. When he looks down, it's a new phase. He has 4 phases. Oh. No lag? Okay, good. As soon as he gets his... Why? I'm too slow. Okay. He is fast and also he throws projectiles. Damn it. I keep forgetting about that. Ay. Ah! Damn it. Okay, I need to start using my abilities more. Descending Dark is the way to go. I'm getting a lot of soul just by hitting him, especially with this new charm. I can heal when he looks down. Okay. Well, does he get up when I hit him, or is there like a certain time, like cooldown on him? I shit. Thought he's gonna charge at me. Ah. What, heal? Oh wait, no, no. I shit. Damn it. Okay, this one is difficult. It is difficult. This was better though. You gotta give it to me. This attempt was definitely way better. So he didn't stay on the ground. Why are you lying to me, Vilo? I tried to heal, but then wait. Maybe because of my the crest, the white defender's crest. Maybe that's what triggered him to get up. Maybe you're right, and it just like it damaged it, so that's why he got up. I might have to go change it. Ay. I was in midair. No, so he did get up by himself. But can I just stay here? Ooh, okay. That's new. Damn it. Okay. There was progress there. I need to save my dashes for when he uses the big wave, or to use my descending dark so I can dodge that. Cheese? Did I cheese him by staying up on the wall? Oh shit, I forgot. But I jumped over it. Just stay here, just stay here. Oh damn it, never mind. So it doesn't actually work every time. I thought it's like 100% safe, but it's not. Bum, ba, da, bum. Oh, it was not fast enough, and I dodged the wrong way. Wow. That was worse. How many tries was it already? Don't miss sleep, bro. Just go to sleep. Try to fall asleep. Start counting sheep and stuff. Sleep is important, bro. Shit. Aye. No. I think there are other. You want to see me win, bro? It might not happen today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying, but it's not looking good right now. Not why I'm... Oh, he jumps that high. Wow. You sleep with your eyes open? I think some dolphins are known to do that, or at least with one of the eyes open. Oh, I thought he had I thought I had enough for a descending dark right there. Stay up. Aye. What? I was 100% sure I'm gonna go through it. Do I need to use descending dark on it? You dolphin or a wolf? I mean, sure. Dash through him. I should have maybe kept the sharp shadow. Maybe that would have been a useful charm in this fight. Okay, I thought maybe I can just... Okay, I thought I could just like tank some of it, the damage, and just like go straight like swinging at him. Just so I can get through to the next phase quicker and then just like spam descending dark, but it didn't work. On the line, well, you know, because maybe it just looks like it's gonna come at you faster, so I start dashing, but then it's slower than I thought. God damn. Whoa. Yeah, I might be panicking. I should have to wait a little bit longer until the line comes towards me, and then I dash. I dashed too early. Three more attempts and maybe I should go change the arms. Damn it. I need to cool down. Where's the closest bench? From here, oh, it's kind of far. The stagway is the closest one. Cheat? How do you even cheat in this fight? Like, how do you even cheat in Hollow Knight at all? That's my question. Keep forgetting about the shockwaves at the end there. He was waiting for me, right? Okay, I dashed properly now, but then he was waiting on the other side. Debug mod? What's a debug mod? So I dashed properly and I just bumped into him at the other side. Too many particles. Oh shit, why is he so fast? What the hell? He was on the other side and just like started charging towards me. I thought I had a lot of time, but I guess it didn't. Wow. Mod menu. I do have a mod menu. I downloaded the... forgot the name. That's how I downloaded this mod. Yes. Usually when the enemy bumps into something, yeah, I'm gonna go change the... how do I go back up? When the enemy like bumps into something, it takes them like a second or two to get up, but no, this guy just like, he just tanks it. Gets up right away. I'm gonna go change some of the charms. I'm not liking, first of all, the not having Sharp Shadow. I think Sharp Shadow will be useful in this fight. Moreover, I think I can take off the White Defender's crest, so the stinkiness will go away. And what else? So we're taking off this and where's Sharp Shadow? Oh, it's only one. Okay. Now we have what? Oh, the King's Honor. We're getting rid of this.
Increases health.
That's too much. One more. Long Nail. I'm gonna take off Long Nail and use it for Unbreakable Heart.
Allowing them to take more damage. This charm is unbreakable.
How about this? Oh, wait, no, you know what? I think this fight requires a lot of spells. I feel like Shaman Stone will be very useful in here. So instead of maybe going for like an attack, like a Mark of Purity with like Quick Slash and whatnot, I will be using a lot of spells and just occasionally poking at him. So maybe for this fight in particular, we might get rid of these. Yeah, just this one. I only have two in Quick Slash. I think those are the ones that I will be... What do you guys think? We're using spells, a lot of spells. So we have the Shaman Stone.
Contains.
Oh, and maybe instead of Quick Slash, we could go for like Soul Catcher together with the Grab Song. What else? Spell Twister. Or just for Spell Twister.
Reflecting the desires of the Soul Sanctum for mastery over soul.
Oh, I might have downloaded a notch and
Drains the
downloaded
soul.
the mod that kind of makes it a bit different, maybe. I don't know. No grab song. Well then, Spell Twister it is,
Reflecting
right?
the desires of the Soul Sanctum for mastery over soul.
Reduces the soul
the
cost of
bearer's
casting spells, so
ability
I'm gonna
to
be able to like
spells.
spam spells a lot.
Reduces the soul.
Just gonna
cost of
use
casting
Descending Dark.
spell.
I'm just gonna use Descending Dark. I think that's good. That's good. That's good. Longer dashes that also damage a little bit. Oh dang it. Our spells are bigger, better, stronger, and it costs us less. So I think that's good. It's a good trade. And we're back. Let's see. I'm gonna heal. Oh wait, no, I didn't have to heal. My health was full. Oh. Oh, dang it. I didn't have enough soul. God damn it. That went even worse than last time. Let's try again. What? No, this is terrible. This is terrible. Okay, I did not think it's gonna make it that slow. Maybe I should go back to using fast attacks. Oh, damn it. So many particles. He bumped into the wall and then bounced off of it, and I missed the pogo. Oh, this one's gonna be hard. Oh, damn it. I was mid-animation. Why are you attacking me mid-animation? Son of a gun. Quick slash mark of pride, purity, and 2 health is the best build. I look. Quick slash. Where's my So yeah, I don't have any of those. Quick slash,
Increases health
mark
of
of
the
pride,
bearer,
purity, and 2 health
allowing
is the
them to
best
take
build.
more damage. This
Do I
charm
keep this
is
stream?
unbreakable.
Yeah, the stream goes up as one of the VODs. Gonna be saved. Yeah, I'm your favorite. Damn, I appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah, go to sleep. Go to sleep. It's sleep is more important than watching me. But okay, maybe yeah. I like the second build, the first build better. The strength, of course. Oh, this. I have it on. Yeah, but the attacks were giving me a lot more soul than I realized. Because now, even though I had the spell Twister, I still was missing a lot of soul to use the spells. Leave me alone, please. Q. Good night. See ya. Thanks for watching. Okay, we're switching. No spell twister. +2. You said also quick slash. And shaman stone. Bye bye.
Protects its
Pride of purity. Mark of purity. And I'm still missing one. I can put something on. Well, I still can keep the sharp shadow. Or put on the grab song. Or the King's Honor.
Unique charm.
Does it actually deal a lot of damage? Maybe it's actually useful now. Or grab song. Either King's Honor or grab song. Or sharp shadow actually. Let's go with King's Honor. Let's see what it does. Let's see how it goes. Son of a gun, leave me alone. And I got hit twice. Bam! Let's go. Oh! Now we can go. Luckily, the walk back is not that terrible. It's just like, what, 15, 20 seconds? Okay, we have to do well this time. We have full soul, full health. All is good. Ah! Wrong way. Ay, 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 ay. I wanted to pogo off of him. Shit. I'm only one hit away from dying again. I was focused on him and not the barrels falling down. But I think that might have been the best attempt so far yet. But unfortunately, I dashed. He's hitting above his head too. What? Brother. Aye, the waves. No, I didn't have enough. I have 1 health. And I'm dead. He just like bumps me with his shoulder and I'm dead. Bro, for real. Oh, appreciate it, okay. Thanks. I guess you could say they're okay, huh? That was bad. Away. Just jump too late. I didn't have enough soul. Whoa. I got hit on the way out, huh? Nice. And yeah, he smacked me in the bed. I was inside of him again. Pogoing? I'm trying. But then he jumps and he also has this one attack where he like throws gravel, I guess, or parts of the floor in the air, and that hits me. Pogoing works well when he's in the first stage, just trying to like walk from one side to the other. Yeah, like right now. And he jumps up too. Gotcha. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you later. I don't know, should I call it quits for today? It's 1:15 a.m. for me. Well, it's not too bad. I'm like at what, 20 something deaths? I jumped too late. Luckily, got out of there in time. Aye. Are you for real? I just dashed and I was a little bit too high and I didn't even see that the bear was, because he was off the screen for some reason, and I got hit by it because he was coming into the screen. Ah, are you for real? Wow. What boss is next? I just go by the list I saw online. We still have the flower quest NPC that I haven't fought. We still have wait, this will be, yeah, I have I did Isma. I did the Drya. I defeated her in like about 2 attacks. I mean 2 attempts. Now we have this guy and the flower quest lady. So there's gonna be 4, right? And then we can go into Grey Mourner. Yes, that's the one. And then I think that unlocks the entrance to the Pale Court, I think. Okay, 3 more attempts. Please. If I see no progress, I'm gonna call it quits for today because I'm getting tired slowly. It's getting late. Dang it. There's so many things going on in this fight. Oh, damn it. Okay. Take out all your anger, bro. Oh, he's so fast. Oh, I didn't have. Oh. I didn't have enough soul to use the descending dark. I thought I had enough. Damn it. You had the flower quest? It took me a while too. It took me like 2 hours because I was dying. I died a few times at the end of it too. Like the last section where you have to like jump over the spikes. I died there like twice. It was so annoying. And move away. Damn it. Oh, that's a combo. And he's gonna go right at me, right? No? Just doing combos on me. Oh no, I meant to descend dark there. Wow. Hey. I forgot that this wall is like arched. So you have to wait it out a little bit longer if you're on top. Okay, 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes of attempts. Ay. I dashed the wrong direction. Okay. Second phase. I tried to get out, but I was inside of him. And he just slapped me with his butt. Ay, 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 ay. I'm just trying to... There we go. Wait, if I keep it up... I just noticed, because this this charm allows me to go faster and faster, right? Hold the attack to concentrate and swing the nail in frenzy gradually increases the bearer's rate of attack as they land nail strike in quick succession. Because I wanted to test now, that's why I played a little bit more aggressively to this mark of purity. So when I just get hits on the boss, my attacks get faster and faster. Maybe I should not be using any spells. I just should be getting like close to it and just hold on to the X. Maybe that's the strategy. Let's try that. I'm just gonna hold X the whole time. Ay. Ay. Okay, it's hard to dodge just pressing X. Can I just do this? Oh wait, hit no. Okay, during that second phase, maybe I can just jump over the waves without getting too close to him. But I like this idea of being like super aggressive. Let's see. I didn't jump on time. Hey, why is he in the air too? Okay, that was... Okay, I suck. Is there like a cap limit on how much does the attacking speed increases? I wasn't even... Okay. Too late. Damn it. Wait, no, it reset. It resets. Okay, it reset it. I'm not gonna do that anymore. I took 1000 damage since I installed that mod. Whoa, he reached me from there too. Okay, here we go. Hold on to the wall, hold on to the wall, hold on to the wall. Okay. Okay, he's gonna charge his thingy. Damn it. Okay, this one was better though. It lasted longer. I was more patient. Oh, oh no, no, no. I meant to. Oh, nice. Hold on to the wall, hold on to the wall, stick to the wall, stick to the wall. Ay. Whoa. I should have had iron frames there too. Okay, he's charging his big attack. Oh. I sometimes lose like track of where I am. And dodge. Okay, good. Oh no, good. Dodge. Oh no, 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 no. I should have already known he's gonna do that. Oh yeah, yeah, no. No. And the barrel again. This fight is quite difficult. I might have to say. Although I don't know if it's more difficult than Isma. Isma was quite difficult as well for me. Let me use that descending dart. Yes. Oh, nice. Second phase. I hurried a little bit too. Damn it. I hurried a little bit too fast with the descending dart. I thought it will allow me to dodge the whole wall, but how do I dodge the debris? Or is it okay? He's so quick with it. How? I'm going crazy a little bit. Although I'm starting to slowly but surely understand his attack patterns. I mean, it is a matter of time. It is possible to do it. I ain't gonna lie, it is possible. Even for me. I jumped. Ay, the barrel caught me. Oh, nice. Only took 1 damage. Only took 1 damage. In 1 hit. How? I was pretty sure I... To... I don't have anything to say. This time took 2 hits. I mean, it did worse than last time. Is this the falling barrels out of the sky are crazy. Although I do feel like I'm a little bit in the zone. Even though I feel tired. I know it's 1:34 AM. I said I'm gonna play till 1:30. But I don't know. Still wanna try a little bit more. Debris. He landed exactly where I would show up after dodging his attack. He's predicting my moves. He knows. Bam. Okay. That was way faster though. I should start doing that more. Yeah, I think it's when he's doing that, I think it's safer just to descend dark, because after I try to dash through it, there's a very high chance there's gonna be like a follow-up attack. Shit. That was bad. That was bad. That was bad. That was bad. hit me midair. Son of a gun. Yeah, see, that was better. I mean, you still... I still died. I haven't gotten past that stage yet. Even once. Yeah, but that was better. Using Descending Dark on the wall of whatever that is. Aye. Oh, he got hit midair. With my stinkiness. Oh, I got hit too. Is the only way to dodge that thing consistently is to use Descending Dark? Because I don't know. Otherwise, 1:30 a.m. I'm calling it quits for today. This is crazy. Well, next time I'm gonna stream, I'm gonna be refreshed. I'm gonna be not tired. I'm gonna beat him. There's no question about it. Just my reaction time is slow because it's late. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. To those who haven't joined, there's a link to my Discord. You're more than welcome to join, because I'll be texting when I go live, so feel free. The link is in pinned comment, so it should work. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Thanks.